In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of Paz and Cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things, and it's called Best Gen because all of us on the panel are más o menos from the same generation, and we happen to think that it's the best one, not because we're better than you, but our movies were. So strap on in and prepare to wax nostalgic as we reminisce upon the days of yore while simultaneously complaining about the utter filth that Hollywood keeps pumping out of its sledge pipes on a daily basis. How's everybody doing?
We're doing.
We are once again joined by Shadow Jared, or Bearded, as he likes to go by. I feel like it's been like half a year since we've seen you.
At least 7 months.
It's been at least at least since Christmas, because I know around Christmas time we were all complaining that none of us wanted to watch the Star Wars show, and we're like, "Oh, Jared will give us an update," and then you never showed up.
Never did.
What
was that?
The kids show?
The
Skeleton Crew. Yeah, that's it. It's a good name. It's a good name for a show.
I think I did pop in for a random show one time around then.
Oh, you might have. I think you gave us like an update of like the first 2 episodes, and then you never came back.
About right. Yeah. But I overall liked it. It was exactly what I think Star Wars needed.
I've heard good things.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care about Star Wars anymore. I almost stopped watching Andor. I only they insisted that episode 6 was really good, and I was already out of it. And I was like, okay, fine. It wasn't until episode 7 that I started liking season 2, and it turned out to actually be I really liked Andor season 2, but man, the first half was a slog for me. We're getting Black Panther's a white man now. That happened.
Really?
His son. Black Panther has a son who has inherited the kingdom of Wakanda in the comics, and he's white. And everyone's really confused about what's because that was always the joke, right? Like if you're gonna race swap some white actors, can we have a white Black Panther? I know who's it from? Which one of the Friday Night Tight crews is always jokes about? I think it's Ryan from Geeks and Gamers, he's their white Black Panther, but whatever. It happened. Parody has become real life, and this is one of those things that I never thought would actually happen, but it's there. It's maybe some bait and switch. Maybe he's got it's not plaque psoriasis. Maybe he's got that one disease that has the horrible vitiligo. Maybe he's got vitiligo. That with the horrible commercials that just make anyone who has vitiligo feel like they're subhuman.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those.
Do you want to get back to looking like a normal person instead of one of the freaks? Vitiligo commercials are wild. They are so.
I've only seen a couple of them.
It's not like it's one of those things. It's purely aesthetics, right? It's a cosmetic thing. It doesn't hurt you in any way. It looks weird. but like you're still a human being.
Yeah.
I think that looks kind of cool, actually.
Some people might have a fetish for vitiligo, honestly, and those commercials freak me out because I'm like, you're okay.
Yeah.
You don't need whatever. I mean, I guess it helps with sunburns if you get it fixed. So
I do know that black people still get sunburns. Just doesn't show up quite as obviously, but I have been told.
right.
Yeah.
It happens.
It would be nice, to not have to worry about it so much.
Yeah, a little bit less.
If I step outside for just a little bit, I get burned. But I usually only have to get burned once a year, and then it just turns into a tan. So
tan. I'm the same way.
We were supposed to stream yesterday. Sorry about that. It was just going to be David and I, and then he asked to push the show to today. Last minute.
Well, I showed up right on time.
And I didn't tell Jared, and he showed up yesterday.
For the first time in months. I mean, how did you guys not know that I was going to be there?
I don't know why you're not on the text chain.
I
think because we started it recently when I was
that
like,
makes sense. Yeah. I noticed you even took me off the thumbnail and everything. I mean, like we were saying, I've been gone 7+ months.
And I explained it when it happened. Jared has not been removed from the show. It just people were asking questions. Who's this other guy in the thumbnail? I will happily put you back on the thumbnail. I took Corwin off too because he hasn't shown up in a year. So, but I send him an email every week, and whenever he can, I hope he gets on.
Yeah,
and sometimes he shows up in the comments.
We haven't seen the angry Mexa in a while too. He'll pop
He's
in,
been moving.
say hi, and then
he's been moving. He just I think he settled into a new place.
Nice.
So yeah, and he'll pop in for like 10 minutes and complain about Trump or complain about the oh there we go. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear in his new apartment.
Nice.
It's been a crazy week. I've been on vacation all week, and I thought it was going to be a slow news week, and it turns out literally everything happened while I was gone. I was like, oh, we only have one show. We only have one 20-minute episode to watch. It'll be chill. I can just relax in the summer sun of southern Utah, and for some reason, my two dads decided to break up, and Elon Musk and Trump are now divorced. But hey, we get 2 Christmases, so that's okay. And the Wheel of Time fandom imploded. Daniel Green had a complete meltdown and yelled at his fans. And it's been crazy. It's been crazy. How you doing, Mexa?
Really, really good. As you can see, I'm finally in my new place. Finally put it together.
I like seeing all your guitars in the background. I think that's a good backdrop.
I need to just put the studio, the panels and that, but it's looking good. It's looking good. I like it. I'm just gonna 1 second.
I didn't know you played the ukulele too.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I know you've got some.
If you can play guitar, you can play the ukulele.
Yeah, I don't really play it, but anyone that plays the guitar can play the ukulele.
Be able to get away with it. Yeah.
Joshua was sitting around for 24 hours waiting. I'm sorry.
Hey, I was waiting there with you, Joshua.
Are we streaming over Pulp Mortem? We'll have to send him some love if he's still streaming when we get out of here. Gosh, that guy's funny.
Hopefully it'll be a short stream today because we only got one show. And
oh boy, it won't be.
I was going to say because I am behind on Andor and Last of Us and some of those other things. So, but I did, thanks to David and the fact that you didn't have a show yesterday, I did catch up on Murderbot. So I can connect to that conversation.
Mark Clark, we started the show 2 minutes and 24 hours late. So
that's why I said you need a calendar, not just a watch.
$1.99 for Mark Clark. Sorry, we're finally getting to your super chat. I'll be nicer, but we missed you, Bearded.
I miss being here. I'm almost a little afraid if you're going to get nicer than that, though. I mean, I'm still married. It's fine.
Let's see. David jinxed me. Is that $1.99? What did David jinx me on? Is it because he spoke of Mexa and then Mexa appeared?
Oh, that could be true.
You found a Reddit dedicated to Sydney Sweeney.
Oh no!
I'm sure there's more than one. I heard her bathwater soap sold out in minutes.
That's insane.
And the White Cloaks had one of the greatest tweets of all time. I commented on it. Someone was saying, like, I've lost all hope in humanity, and the White Cloaks' response was, think about the demographic of people who would be purchasing this soap, and then ask yourself this question: are there any lengths that are would be going too far to convince these type of people to take baths? So, I think it's a moral good.
Give you that?
If we're, I have a Spanish question.
Wow.
What are charro beans?
Charro beans is a type of frijoles. Beans is frijoles. It's like a prepared way of eating beans where you use like a lot of processed meats like sausage, use spicy sausages or chorizo, or any type of Mexican sausage, longaniza, and sometimes you use onions and cilantro and a little bit of spice to make it a little spicy. You can put like some either jalapeno or some chile that is not that spicy, but yeah, you basically do like you put tomatoes on it. You make, instead of just regular beans, you make a full dish. So it's really tasty.
Dude, I could eat longaniza every day and not get tired of it. It's so good. Yeah, how have you guys been? I feel like
it looks like David's board games are spilling out even more now, even though he's got double shelves on both sides.
I think he sets out all of the games that he played this week as the ones laid on the table.
Usually, yeah. When you see games on the table, those are games I played this week. That is not the case here. I'm deciding which games to take to a family vacation. We're having a reunion, so I need to decide which ones to bring to play. So.
Come back to us discussing irritable bowel syndrome. Now just Mexican food, which it's synonymous, but it's worth it. So
yep, one comes before the other.
All right, have you guys
it's very bad for your stomach.
Oh my God.
God, this is the week of AI videos, man. It's been so great. Poor Donald Trump.
They're getting better, like.
Oh. He had his little breakup with Elon Musk. These videos are incredible, by the way.
Yeah, they always begin crazy though.
Was like 2 years ago a year ago was the crazy Will Smith. Will Smith
the
spaghetti video, right?
Eating noodles.
Yeah, it was like a year ago. What the hell?
Obviously, this AI has never had to share headphones before because you can't do it that way. They're both
you're gonna get the wrong audio going through.
That's the only way that I knew this was AI. Honestly.
Okay, you want me to run a poll for? Thanks for the $4.99. Which will take longer, David releasing a new episode on his channel or Bearded coming back on the show? I can do that. I'll start a poll.
I mean, I'm already back here since I think the last time that I was here. I don't think in between those two times, I don't think David's released any more videos.
I did 2 shorts.
Right. I really liked at least one of those shorts. I'm trying to remember if I saw the other one.
All right, I'm gonna play the rest of this video while I start that poll.
I tried to fall for a touch, but I'm thinking of the way
Oh my God.
No, but for real, you already know Donald Trump is out there shooting on a range some Cybertruck with the most powerful weapon that he has available that is not ballistic,
Oh boy.
This week was crazy. This week was absolutely crazy, and I didn't have my computer. I just had my phone, and I was just getting updates like the world is falling apart while I went on vacation, man.
You gotta hold us together there, Alan. Come on now.
Back.
Wait, did it really? I haven't checked
Yeah,
on
so
anything for like a month. I've been trying to get
yeah,
this place.
Elon Musk and
monitored.
Donald Trump broke up. His
Yeah, I
time had
saw
already ended
that.
serving for Doge because you can hire temporary government employees for 6 months, and so he did his Doge thing, and then he got upset about the big beautiful bill, because Elon's position is it's just immediately using up all of the money that he saved through Doge. And I think there's some validity on both sides.
Yeah.
And I don't like watching people fight. But
He was saying some wild stuff about Trump.
He's tweeted out Trump is on the Epstein list, and then he deleted it.
Which technically he's not wrong. Like he is on the flight logs.
Yeah.
He
Trump has been open about that.
He was on one flight log, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he didn't clearly he didn't do anything wrong.
All right,
I
got the
don't
poll
even
set
know
up.
if he was even in the island ever.
Yeah. I believe Trump said after he met him, he put him on he shut him out of his contacts, and
he was completely banned from Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, but
uh,
we don't need to get into the politics of it. I think if you want the most based take on it, let's go read Devin Erickson's post. Infamous author, famous for way too long tweets. But very entertaining.
Still called tweets, even are they not X's now or something?
Zeets, I think. I don't know.
Cheats.
I think it's just posts, but I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to remove that lexicon, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, politics over.
You have chosen, but
Christmas.
Does this mean I get 2 Christmases? I love the JD Vance memes. Okay. All right, back to nerd stuff. No, holy crap.
Woo.
Some behind the scenes footage.
See, that should have been in the show, man.
This was.
No,
what do you mean?
It showed. It didn't. The only shot I remember of the parachute burning was a wide shot.
This was in this.
All right.
They showed a scene like this. Yeah, there was a wide shot and then this, and then it cut away because they didn't want you to know if he lived or not.
Bro, I don't even know what day it is. Like, it's Mission Impossible out already?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I haven't watched it because I have not watched almost any of the Mission Possibles. I think I've only seen the first one, so I'm like, I'll catch up with them when I catch up with them.
They're worth it, man. They're good.
I heard you guys. I heard you guys say that Andor was out, and I was like, what? But I remember that was before my birthday, so I was like, okay, I didn't celebrate my birthday. That's why I don't even know what month it is. So
it's June.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going to wait for it to come to streaming because I don't have a movie theater around.
Did I miss Jacob? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even see. Jacob's in the chat too. Hey man, how's it going?
Yo,
And he's moving as well. So
Well, part of the reason I'm able to be here is because I have moved to an undisclosed location, and I can't tell you any more than that. But I'm no longer working at the post office, which had me working, 6 12-hour shifts a week. And
it's gonna be a party.
Yeah, it was a nice part-time job.
So Area 41, we get it.
Okay, but back to Tom Cruise being insane. The parachute on fire stunt, he did 16 times. He lit his own parachute on fire 16 times and jumped out of a plane 16 times.
Mm-hmm.
This man is literally insane. Okay, look what they do. It's oh my goodness. So you don't need to hear the audio, but they basically strap on a real parachute and then attach another one, not touching it, because they soak it in gasoline.
Jesus.
And then just have it sitting in a bucket and the cords hanging out attached to him.
Gosh.
and then they close it up in a briefcase so that, like, so that his real parachute doesn't catch on fire. And then they go up. Then they go up in the air. And they just have the gasoline-soaked parachute in a box, and he jumps out, and then he lights it himself.
What?
Then has to detach it, and then deploy his real
one.
Man.
Oh, okay.
And this literally takes like 20 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
What is he doing all this? Like, he's fully...
Well, I mean, how many times did he throw himself off that cliff for the last one? At least
They
as
got
many
it in
times.
one shot. They did it
Well,
once.
no,
he practiced.
a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say
100
I think
times.
they only got one shot.
But
they only had to do
it was the
one.
first one. The
I
first
still
one they got
remember
it.
it was like 7 times.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Oh, but like I ask, remember when the Triple X movies used to come out and they would put like the instant replay when something cool happened, and they would put like 3 different shots? Why didn't they do that with this? Like, why is it a 20-second shot for
It's
like...
a really good shot. No, I actually like how they did it in the movie, but like this is just dedication to the craft. It added to the tension. Maybe they could have lingered on it like a little bit longer.
I don't know, man. It seems like some Scientology shit to me.
Well,
But check this out, man.
Oh my god.
Hey, let me light my own parachute on fire.
That's insane, dude. Oh my gosh.
He flips upside down for one of these. Like, oh, what a beautiful man.
Yeah. Dude.
Oh,
It's his thing now. He's got to keep topping it,
Yeah, right? This is supposed to be the last one, but
Did he also jump
Yeah.
in between 2 biplanes or something like that in this one?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was jumping between planes and flying them upside down. Yeah, it was.
I love how that's not the main stunt. Like, that's not the big stunt that we're talking about, though.
no, it's
Like-
20 seconds of the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
20 seconds, like that doesn't make any sense, man. Like, this guy's not even doing it for like
No, the
show.
other stunts in this movie are even cooler.
Yeah. It's just
Cooler?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, there's like a
plane
30-minute
sequence is great.
underwater. There's like a 30-minute well, maybe it's
I heard
like
about
30
that.
minutes underwater in a submarine, and it's breathtaking. It's the best
Yeah.
stunt they've ever put.
well,
in
he
any
did a
Mission
lot of
Impossible
like
movie.
I don't know how long, but I know he was training to be able to actually hold his breath for a large chunk of that for sure. I don't know if it's
He did more breath training for number 5, I think, when he jumps down the like the water butthole thing. I can't remember what it's actually called.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The water cooled vault or whatever.
yeah, it's a giant butthole. That's what it is.
Oh my lord.
Basically. But yeah, the man's absolutely insane, and holy crap.
Keep it up.
I
man.
mean, more power to him that he's able to pull it off, but holy cow. I mean,
Yep.
but that's the thing too, is most of these stunts we don't usually see, like we don't see stunts usually quite this intense, but we do see, like when we see other stunts, it's usually just stunt actors that are doing it, not
Right.
your main
Yeah.
face actors. And
Yeah.
so that's the other thing that
Rarely do you
adds
get
to
the
it.
actual actors doing
Yeah.
it.
Speaking
Tom
of
Cruise-
actual actors
Yeah.
doing it, Nathan Fielder and Tom Cruise are Hollywood's top stuntmen actors.
I've been hearing little bits and pieces about
Nathan
the-
Fielder flew a plane, man.
Didn't he,
learned
like,
how he
tried to
learned
go
how to
through his life as Sully.
Yes, you got to watch that episode, man. It's so good. But he learned to fly a 737 and flew it with passengers who because no airline would hire him without the required number of hours. He had actors fly
So
the
people he
plane.
paid to fly on his plane.
And he's like, yeah, your scene is going to be you're going to fly on a plane and you're going to order like a
Ginger
you're gonna
ale.
order a ginger ale and some peanuts, and then you're going to get off the plane. That's your scene. It's called a sphincter. No, but like it's a joke, but also not. Like Nathan Fielder is doing almost as impressive stuff. Like, it's crazy.
Certainly on his at that level,
Like risk level, you know. I don't think there's another actor that's done anything close to what Nathan Fielder did other than Tom Cruise.
Jackie Chan's up there too.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the other one I was going to bring up as I did go and watch the new Karate Kid movie because
the Chinese didn't really care about their own health. You know, like
did you like the new Jackie Chan? Because I hadn't seen the first one with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. I heard it was good though.
It was okay. It was pretty solid, and this movie was also decent. I didn't dislike it. It was definitely one of those things where I'm like, this is a very different kind of movie than your usual Karate Kid movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's bringing the two of them together. It has almost like basically nothing to do with Cobra Kai, so you don't have to worry about that. Just that he's, Daniel-san is back and gets involved. Like half of the movie is more like a Rocky movie or something like that instead of a Karate Kid movie, and then it kind of turns Karate Kid for the last half hour. But it's done well for what it does. It's just I was going to say the guy that played the kid also did all of his own stuff, but because he's actually a martial artist. So
is the Karate Kid movie out?
Yeah,
I guess so. I didn't know. I didn't really.
Bro,
care.
like I don't even have a movie theater around. Like for the first time ever in my life, I want to go to the theater, and I don't have a movie theater. And I used to have a movie theater that it was like a block or somewhere.
Yeah, last weekend I actually spent most of Saturday in the theater catching up on. I did that one. I did Lilo and Stitch. I also did the Sinners movie.
Dude, I did. I had to go see Lilo. My wife made me watch Lilo and Stitch with all our kids.
It was actually not bad. For the live action remakes, it's probably one of their best ones.
But the whole movie is ruined with one line.
Which line?
That she gives up Lilo.
Not really.
Well, it's the line before that.
Really.
It's the line before that where the social worker comes in and says, "Hey, there's only one way that you can get the government to pay for all of this. It's if you give up custody."
Yeah, again, like
that's not Ohana.
Yes and no, because
that's communism.
Well, again, the thing is even if you look at the original one, what ends up happening is she has this found family of the aliens and all that coming in and helping.
Yes,
and
that was my problem with that was my problem with it is that they could have had that exact same ending with the little teleporter thing and just have her not give up Lilo.
Well, that's the thing is she basically didn't. She just legally did, but she didn't even give
so
up
the
at all.
Only difference that's my problem. I agree. The only difference is we're doing this to get the government to pay for it.
Not really.
That's it. That's the only difference. With it's the ending that it should be, except we're going to take taxpayer money to pay for it.
Except where is the taxpayer money coming from for it?
Did you not listen to the conversation?
The government
because it has to do with the fact that she's getting paid to go to school because
foster care. You get money for the government.
Well. Yeah, yes. I guess there is, but it's really it was more a matter of because Nani was supposed to be getting the full ride scholarship, and she would be able to be getting that full ride scholarship and going to school and being able to get that all taken care of.
Right, and she could have done that without giving up Lilo.
Well, but that's the thing is she couldn't do that and still have Lilo because she couldn't be in San Diego with Lilo still in Hawaii.
She has the teleporter. She could have.
Legally, they could.
She's coming back every night anyway. All they had to do was say, "Hey, I'm going to use the teleporter to go to school every day instead of use the teleporter to come home every day."
But yeah,
it's literally the exact same ending.
The fact that they've got the teleporter,
it's the exact same ending, except that it's tossing family out the window to promote Marxism.
It's highlighting the idea of found family more than anything. It's still finding this idea of like, look, these neighbors that can still help out and take care of her.
And that's a great message. Yes,
that's what she did. Yeah, to me.
Except
I have heard
bad.
People complaining that she gave up Lilo, but like to me, when I watched the movie, like she didn't give up Lilo. She kind of, sort of let the other person take care of her.
She conned the government into and that's why I don't like it.
Still able to come and spend time with her sister. Yeah,
it is the wrong message to take away from the movie.
I can understand where you read that message from the movie, and I would say that is the wrong message.
What do you mean? That's what they said the message was.
Oh, the message was.
Ohana means family, and family means screw you, I guess. Family means give up custody of your sister so that the government will pay for everything. It says marry the government.
I did not get the focus on this idea that like, oh, the government will pay for, because they didn't focus on the idea that like, okay, the government is paying for the foster care with it. Of course, the government.
We need to get Jared to read The Naked Communist, everybody.
I was living in California for the last 10 years. Come on. But no, to me, it wasn't a matter of like, oh, hey, this is the government will pay for you because you're being fostered. It's you will get your full ride scholarship because you're going to go to school, and you can go to school by letting Lilo stay with the neighbors.
And they could have had all of that without the one line.
Talk about the fact that the government is paying the neighbor to take care of it.
They did. That was the whole conversation. The whole purpose.
I don't even think that's what it was saying.
The whole purpose of that line, delivered in the hospital. Hey, there's only one way you can make this work.
What she was saying is,
communism.
There's only one way that Lilo will actually get the health care that she needs, because she was. Yeah. Which again, yes, I do get that, but at the same time, also Lilo does need to have health care, and
we're saying the same exact thing. We're saying the same thing.
No, we're saying slightly different things, but anyway, I think
Poseidon finally.
But yeah,
Poseidon.
But now I'll have to turn down my volume when you talk Wind and Truth, because
I don't think we have any plans to do it. But you finally finished reading Wind and Truth.
I'm finally finished it.
I have. So. I don't know how you managed spoilers this time. Well, I have to know, did you like it or not? Because I've been very clear on.
I've avoided spoilers, so I'm going to try to keep avoiding the spoilers of Wind and Truth.
We don't have plans. Don't have plans to talk about it right now, but I would like to know if you liked it or not.
I will say that is one of the other changes that they made Jumba the bad guy, which
was dumb.
Sucks, but also it kind of makes sense. That's the other thing, is you have to kind of realize that they're bringing this into a real life, a live action thing. So if you're going to do that, you've got to do something you've got to address some more real life scenarios, some more.
Yeah, I felt like that was a completely unnecessary change. I think that detracted from the story. And the other problem was they completely skipped over Lilo developing a relationship with Stitch. There's one scene where they get to know each other, and they cut the rest of their development out of the movie. And you're like, I don't even get why they like each other. There was one scene, and most of it was Stitch being horrible, and then they had one talk at the end, and you're like, oh, okay. Even in the movie, they set up his last words, right, where he talks about hey, this is my family and it's broken, but it's enough, and none of that is set up in this movie at all. You're like, okay, so it feels like a callback to something. It's a callback to the original movie, not to anything you established in this one. And you're like. Yeah. None of this was earned, but it wasn't the worst.
Yeah,
live action
wasn't
adaptation
as earned as it was in the.
There are some genuinely good scenes in it, and it looks good.
And they did a good job of refreshing they had a lot of straight shot for shot takes from the thing, but they also had some new sight gags and funny bits that worked really well.
I like the actor that they got for Pleakley. I don't know if Zach Galifianakis was the right choice for the other guy. I wasn't really feeling him.
Yeah, but Pleakley was very amusing. He
was great.
Did a good job taking that from an animated thing to a live action thing that you had to say, well, we have to have some degree of realism in here. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Mark didn't get past page 27 of Wind and Truth. Juman's Bag. We talked about that. We got to talk about Sanderson's Wheel of Time, though. Yeah, that's pulled up. But we got some news first, some exciting news.
Sorry, I'm really good at derailing things. So,
Joe Abercrombie is getting the Devils turned into. I don't know if they've said a movie or a TV show, but it's James Cameron.
Wow,
interesting. Well, it's his company. I wonder how involved he'll be, but that's still a step in the right direction.
No, he's been tweeting about it. Cameron's involved.
When's he gonna find time in between the next 7 Avatar movies he's doing?
During all of the CGI, he's just twiddling his thumbs. He's not doing any of that crap.
rewriting. He's writing the next ones and shooting the next ones.
He's had 30 years to do that.
They were probably already all filmed.
They were already written too. They've been written for 10 years, and he's just.
I was going to say, how long has George Martin been sitting on the next Game of Thrones too?
So this is completely. This is a completely new IP. This is his newest book. It's not connected to any of his other ones. It's actually urban fantasy. It's,
I actually saw the interview with him.
So it's not quite. It's not modern day. It's kind of like a period piece, urban fantasy, where it's like an alternate history. I can't remember who described it, but it's like demons in real life, and it's basically his. It's like a Victorian Suicide Squad with magic.
Nice.
Oh,
sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people didn't like it, but most people have said they liked it. So, there's a sale on Audible. Crap.
Yeah, I bought like a ton of stuff.
They just had a 2-for-1 scale like last month.
No, they have like everything 85% off or something ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
So I bought like all
I never
the rest
I never
of the
shopped those sales.
adventure books that are on Audible.
Yeah.
I got what else did I get? I don't know. I got a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah.
But I plan on canceling my Audible though, because
I hardly ever shop those sales because I have credits, and I'm like, well, it's a waste to spend a credit on a book that's half off.
That's the thing. A lot of these books that I spent them for the normal price, the normal price is cheaper than the credit.
Yeah.
The price of the subscription. So I didn't want to.
I'll have to check it out because there's a few books I need. So
I got to have my first time through be Dead Tree.
Yeah, James Cameron has talked about it. He's like, I read this book in a day. I couldn't put it down. He didn't go through a company. He talked to Joe Abercrombie. And
when you're James Cameron, you can do that. You can say, "Get me the author now."
Yeah, but he didn't. He didn't just like, hey, like this is a passion project for James Cameron. Like he wants to do this.
Cool.
Which is about the best news that you can get for an adaptation, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, how much adaptation
unless the person passionate about your project is Rafe Judkins.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say though, because Cameron's done a lot more with like doing his own writing and stuff. So the idea of him adapting might be kind of interesting. I don't know if he's done a lot of that. I know obviously he's come into existing franchises, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Fascinating. I'm excited for him.
Well, you just can't bet against it because of the top 3 or 4 movies he's got.
Because he's never had a flop.
Yeah, he's just none of his movies are considered bad by almost anyone. So.
I mean, I think his worst performing one was the underwater one.
Oh, the but that can't be his worst performing.
No, it was still like a massive success, though.
Well, yeah, because it's still over $2 billion.
The Abyss.
Oh, The Abyss. Okay, that's because I'm like, not.
It did not lose money, but like it didn't make quite as much as his other ones, I think. James Cameron is a powerhouse when it comes to box office. So, that's fun. So I know I've dogged on Ozempic, guys. We've made plenty of jokes. But we might have to jump on the Ozempic train.
Okay.
Good for y'all.
I'm just saying maybe we spoke too soon, okay?
Yep.
David, I'll send you a link.
I'm more uncomfortable with why to think that you need to send them.
Brothers know things.
Boys can see boys.
That's fair.
That was our... We had so many kids in the house.
Yo, guys, just before I leave, because I need to head out, because I don't know any about this.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the movie called The Fountain of Youth?
Yes. We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
It's on Apple TV.
Yeah, well, is it good? Like, why does he have so many good actors on it?
It was kind of bad.
Oh, my Lord.
It wasn't terrible. But
I wanted to like it. It's
yeah.
not the worst thing I've ever seen. I didn't. It didn't work for me.
Okay,
So-
I'm going to skip it then because I was looking to watch something and I see that I don't have a lot of movies available pirating, and I don't have still the what is it called, the Mission Impossible ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have the Final Destination one, so I'm gonna watch that, I guess. So it was nice to see you guys again. I hope next time I see you, I
Yeah.
have more panels in the back with
Yeah.
the studio.
Yeah. Good luck
forward
with
to it,
all
man.
that
Thanks for
setup.
tuning
Exo.
Happy
Yeah.
Thanks for
unpacking.
being here. Good to see you. Yeah,
Thanks.
happy birthday.
Hey,
Just
not
passed.
not next week though, but in 2 weeks, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, man. It's
Huh?
gonna be the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's a Game of Thrones prequel. It's really good.
Oh, perfect. Is that on streaming, right? HBO?
It's on HBO. Yeah,
Perfect. Okay, I'm definitely gonna watch that actually.
it's I read the book. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Nice.
Really
Okay.
looking forward
See
to
you,
it.
Exo.
Thank you guys. Have a good week. Night.
Speaking
Jacob.
of that show, though, I don't know if can that save HBO?
Well, that's.
Good
Transition.
segue back, David.
Yeah,
Good job.
right.
Are you the one that
Well
sent me
done.
this one? Is that why?
No, I've never seen that.
I think it was Charles, but he's not here to defend himself. But I mean, it's true. Like HBO, Warner Brothers, they're in trouble. They're in
I know
massive
they-
trouble.
I'd
Their
heard they plan on
stock,
splitting the
their
company.
stock, just
I'm looking
like
at it.
2 or 3 weeks ago was completely devalued. It's a penny stock
Really?
now. They are in massive trouble. They have no money. They need a win, and The Last of Us was not a win.
Didn't do it for him. I've been
no.
liking it so far. I haven't
It,
heard a whole lot of negative. But
Got horrible numbers.
really,
Season 2 didn't work for most people.
Well,
well, and I mean, it comes from the game that apparently a lot of people had issues with. But
Yeah, and
Right.
it's even
It's
and,
the
and
game
it's
all over
even
again
worse
because-
than the game. They made additional changes to the game and made it even worse.
Yeah.
people
So-
that liked the game
Are upset,
you know,
too.
the game series. They were initially upset when it first came out, when the second game came out, and the people that haven't played the games are upset all over again
for
because
yeah,
they didn't know what was going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Well,
they
so
made
all I
managed
can
to
say is
upset.
that I can neither confirm nor deny that I have a coworker that loved the games and loved the show. So
yeah.
It's a
And he
very
came
I'm
to it
not saying
not
everybody,
knowing-
but it's just
yeah,
I can.
it's shockingly a very small demographic of people that are in that boat.
yeah.
I know. I don't know if we know the numbers between season 1 and season 2, but I know over season 2 they lost half their viewership. So that's on top of whatever they lost from season
Not
1.
quite as bad as Rings of Power and
or Wheel of
or
Time.
Wheel of Time. Yeah, they lost 75% of their viewers between episodes 1 and 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or not episodes 1 and 2 because they did 3 at a
They
time. But
33%
the first
finished
weekend.
season 1 of Rings of Power. I don't
So,
know if we have stats for season 2.
And did I see from your guys' stuff, just looking at the titles, that they've canceled Wheel of Time, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Wheel of
That's
Time was
done.
officially
we'll
canceled.
get
How about
to
Rings
we'll
of
get to
Power?
it.
We'll talk about it because the
about,
internet is on fire.
More than half of these articles are Wheel of Time related. We'll
Okay.
get to it.
So
Don't
before we get to that,
don't you worry, baby.
So before we get to that, how about Rings of Power? Is that, as far as anybody knows, still going?
Well,
or is that-
season 3 is already under production, and they were contracted for 5 seasons. It's not looking good though. They might just sink. They might just cancel it and sink the. You know, whether or not producing it cheaply and getting 2 crappy seasons out. We know we're getting season 3, or just sinking the cost and not going forward with the last 2 seasons. It's very well possible.
Yeah, there are talks that they're just going to wrap everything up in this last season.
They recently sent it to send it for syndication.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So it's
Yeah.
playing
Which
on
means
actual
they're-
TV
yeah, they're
or
spelling
they're
it
trying to.
with-
They're trying
yeah.
to shop it. They're trying to sell it, and no one's bought it,
Yeah.
which is not a good sign.
Not a good sign. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
They may break contract. Look, so
Yeah, I still haven't gotten around to catching up on season 2. I'll probably do that just before season 3 comes out.
It's exponentially more expensive than the Wheel of Time.
Oh,
and not getting that much more viewers.
Yeah, and I think it looks worse too.
Yeah,
like the sets look fine, but the actual
the season 3 budget was already pretty stripped.
Pretty stripped.
So
yeah, we'll see then.
Not looking good.
Signs point to cancellation. We have to wait for season 3 before they're going to say anything.
Before they'll say for sure. Yeah,
they're and it might be like week 1, episode 1 airs and they cancel it. You know,
could be. Although
that's happened before.
They do that sort of thing sometimes when they're like, yeah, we're just going to have to pull the plug on it. But sometimes they'll hold out on it, trying to avoid the people giving up on it more because they know that it's going to be done. Right. They want to try to milk it as long as they can. So sometimes they'll wait until afterwards.
If they know it's already over, then they won't do that. Which is why season 3 of Rings of Power, Wheel of Time was so crucial, because after the abysmal performance of season 1, where they lost over half their viewership after the first week, where they aired 3 episodes, pissed off half the fandom. They all left. It never recovered from that. It just slowly got lower and lower. So season 2 was already, going into production. They can't really make any changes there. I'm surprised with how poorly it performed and how much it cost. It cost more than Game of Thrones.
Wow.
Yep. Per episode.
Like the season 8. I think it had I think maybe season 8 of Game of Thrones had a slightly bigger budget, but I could be wrong.
Done right, it could have been a hit show if they'd done it right. But
you don't have to tell me. Yeah. It's my favorite fantasy series of all time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that Wind and Truth disappointed me, so I used to like Stormlight more than Wheel of Time. Now I don't. So.
Fair enough.
We need to
look forward to debating
poll.
you on it at some point.
5 votes. We can leave that right.
Semi-distant future, since it'll take forever to get through these books. But I'm now still making progress. So.
That was also before I'd done a reread, and a reread of the Wheel. Your first reread of the Wheel of Time is it's so much better too. Yeah. And I loved it the first time through. It's so much better the second time through. There's so much setup that you don't even realize is there, and foreshadowing and stuff that he's putting in these earlier books that doesn't get paid off until the very end, and you're like, wow, this guy's a great author. Nice. And it doesn't have any Hills of Tanchico, the Rings of Power. So,
yep.
Yeah, we'll see. So season 3 of the Wheel of Time was like the show is canceled unless there is some season 3 miracle and it spikes and it gains popularity. But like you could see, they'd already given up in advertising. They weren't spending money promoting the show just because of how horribly the first 2 seasons did. It was on the chopping block. Yes. It's all done. They released it and they waited. They didn't make any announcements, but they also didn't have faith in it. And then after it was over, they waited about a couple months because of how it ended. They were already under a lot of heat for having the audacity to kill a lesbian character. So even the fans of the show were pissed off, and so they didn't want to aggravate them more by canceling another queer show.
Right. So we'll probably get to that, but on this idea, is Harry Potter the only thing that could save it, or because they've also got theoretically some of the DC stuff that could come out with the Green Lanterns.
Yeah, but that's less streaming though. So that it could be the nail in the coffin for HBO, and maybe Warner Brothers is still doing it. But they're both in trouble, and a lot of signs point to Superman not being good. There have been some leaks this week. They've replaced the tagline "Truth, Justice, and the American Way" to "Truth, Justice, and the Human Way," which I am not a fan of.
Yeah, I roll off the tongue.
Get where they're coming from with it. It's dumb. I think they're dumb, but at the same time,
no, the symbolism behind that, I could not support.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't work. I get wanting to be a little bit more like, hey, let's be less divisive and more theoretically unifying. But
The problem is what
do
it
that by
represents.
changing something from what it has been.
Exactly.
And
that's exactly it. The problem
yeah.
is what it represents. Not that saying like, oh, the human way. Not that that's a bad phrase.
Right.
It's that you're stripping. It's because you have such disdain for America that you're changing it.
Yeah.
That's what's problematic. Like
and
they're literally sending a message. We hate America.
I'll even give it a
I'm
little,
not okay with
softer that I don't think that it's necessarily going as far as we hate it, but that they feel like it's a lot.
I mean, that's what James Gunn has literally said.
Yeah, I don't think it's saying I hate America, but it's more like I'm ashamed of traditional American values.
Well, and so what I even think is probably the way that I would probably take it a little bit more is he's ashamed of what America is being right now, if nothing else. And because that's what I remember talking to people about, like, what if you don't like what America's doing right now? You're like, well, you want to still stand with the things that were the reason it was established and the core American values anyway, regardless of what the country is doing at any one point in time, because it fluctuates over the years anyway.
And unfortunately, there is a large portion of the country, at least the leaders, that no longer believe in those values, and I think that those people are evil.
Well, and that's what makes it complicated, is there's the mix of not believing in those values, but then there's the people that are upset at the fact that those different values are now being touted, and so like nobody's happy with it in many ways, except for people who then try to just point back to those original values, whether or not it's what's actually happening.
We're not back yet.
That's just so frustrating, because it's again like they've done a lot, it seemed like, in this one to say, you know what, we're going to go back to like a classic Superman feel and look, make him just a good Boy Scout guy and just really, more positive and things like that.
And the people who would like that are the kinds of people who are going to be pissed off when you remove the line, truth, justice, and the American way.
Yeah. And honestly, I think
you can't appeal to those fans and also insult them.
And there is a subset of people who will be upset at keeping "and the American way." But I think that even
those people were never comic book fans to begin with, so don't cater to them.
You're right, and I'm agreeing with that. The point being that like
have we not learned this lesson about superhero movies already?
There's probably a good chunk of people who didn't necessarily care, or who might even feel similarly to some of those people that would have been upset at keeping the American way in there, but that we're just fine with keeping the American way, and if anything, a good chunk of them that are going to be upset that you're changing something.
The Marvels was not created for comic book fans. It was created to capture a new demographic, and even they didn't watch that movie.
Yeah.
Like we already know this doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
one last thing I'll say before you move off of this.
Voltron's happening. Yeah.
I'm not going to be nearly as over the moon upset about Papa Yusidu or whatever as Snape in Harry Potter. However,
the rumors are he's sacked. Yeah.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that necessarily.
There are some rumors that he's sacked.
I will say, watching Murderbot, David Dastmalchian, I could see it. I could see him being. Yeah, I was watching Murderbot. I was like, oh, he's got that Alan Rickman look, and he's kind of playing a character that has some of the same, vibes.
I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, that would work. That would be solid. There was another one that I'd seen before that I'm like, I'd like that, but this one just occurred to me. So since Harry Potter,
he's a good actor too. I like him.
He's been all over the place.
Have you seen Prisoners?
I don't think I have. No.
It's Denis Villeneuve, and it's the leads. It's Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman, and and David's in it as well. He's really good in it.
Okay. Yeah.
And Paul Dano's in it for a gross role. And it's Hugh Jackman's kid goes missing, and like the police can't find him.
You say it's called Prisoners?
Prisoners, right? Super good. I think it's. I think it's Villeneuve's best movie.
Okay, even better than Dunes, huh?
Yes.
Than the Dunes.
I think it. I mean, I love Dune, but like Prisoners that's him in his element,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wow. But yeah, I think that would be a great casting.
Interesting. Interesting about the J.K. Rowling's might have gotten him removed or whatever, because I believe she came out and said, like, no, I'm not going to try to get an actor sued just because I disagree with them. sort of thing. Which I'm like, hey, for those that are mad at J.K. Rowling, then that's a thing that they can be less mad at him about.
The rumors are very vague. I've seen a couple posts saying rumors are he's sacked, and there are no reasons why. So, or apparently the lawsuit. So, but yeah,
I'm behind on a lot of stuff. So I'm still pretty out of the loop.
She said it wasn't, and that was a while ago. So, who knows? Who knows what's actually going on? A lot of people play their hands close to their chest. So, Hollywood is like that. It's a lot of backstabbing, and who knows? And it might not even be true. He might still be attached.
One thing I will say is I don't believe any of you guys have been watching The Studio because
I've heard mixed things.
It's definitely going to be a show that's involved in Hollywood, but man, it lambasts Hollywood hard.
Yeah,
and it's like you would love episode was it 6 or 7? The
AI episode.
The casting, the one for casting, because it's exactly what you're saying is the problem with trying to do all that, and like there's a couple of those ones, and it shows like the first episode 2 does a great job of showing how something that people are just discussing suddenly becomes huge rumors and gets all the way out there. It's like, it's not that it wasn't true, but it also wasn't right.
There was a reason, like they let rumors like that out on purpose to test the waters.
Yeah. But that's the thing is the way it's presented in the show is it's less like on purpose to test the waters and more like they just started talking about ideas and then suddenly it got out and then they have to juggle these two different ideas that they were tossing around because they're both now out.
I got to adjust my sound. I can't hear you for a second.
Yeah, no worries. So,
I've been interested to.
I've heard good things from the studio. I've heard some annoying things. It's probably a show I could tolerate if it weren't for Seth Rogen. He's become so repulsive to me. Like I don't even care if it's good. Like I don't want to see him on screen. Like he's such.
Yeah. I guess I don't know enough about what he may be involved with that makes sure this his laugh does kind of drive me crazy. I suppose it's not the worst that I've ever been driven crazy by his laugh, but I definitely every time he laughs, I'm like, okay, thank you. Stop, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Charles sent me this, and I have no idea why. So we might have to save this.
Yeah.
The Last of Us refused to give Ellie what she really needed in season 2, and the show paid the price.
And I'm fine
Ellie
with
was
that.
Ellie was more brutal in the game. Well, see, that's the problem with casting this as Ellie. When she tries to be brutal, it's not believable.
Yeah. I think she did a decent job of being brutal, but I don't know.
She's so bad. She's such a horrible actress.
I
don't believe a single second she's on screen. I don't believe it.
Shot in, or not the opening shot, but one of the first scenes in season 1 episode.
She is though.
Yeah.
She is the most unlikable character in TV history. She's more unlikable than Joffrey. Okay.
That's saying a lot. I wouldn't. I mean, I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I wouldn't necessarily put her up there. She's to me. She comes across too young.
This was the problem. This was the problem that we had with season 1. That was my entire issue. Was that she was so unlikable that the ending of that season wouldn't be impactful because I knew she was gonna. I knew that Joel was gonna throw everything out the window to save her, except that they did nothing to make her someone you would want to save.
I do remember there was one scene they had a heart-to-heart conversation on the side of the road. They're like sitting on a guardrail or something. And I thought that scene was really well done in season 1. But the rest of it, she was just being a jerk to him the whole time. I'm like, I don't see what you see in this girl, Joel.
And I think that for season 1, it worked okay for me. But the beginning of season 2 was a little bit much because I've heard people saying oh, she's just acting like any 19-year-old would. And I'm like, no, she's acting like any 16-year-old would.
Right.
If she was supposed to be 16 there, I would believe that behavior, but not 19. I suppose theoretically because I'm still just on episode. Yeah. I just finished episode 5, so I still need to watch episode 6, which is where they're going to get the flashback.
Yeah.
So
the problem too is
going to try to explain it. but it still just seems she's too old to be acting that.
Right. The problem. Part of the problem is that she's playing a 19-year-old, but she's acting like a 16-year-old, but she looks like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I'd say 14, but yeah, still, it's like she looks way younger than she's supposed to be. She's actually like 21 or 24.
And it's supposed to be like a 5-year jump from the last season or something.
And she doesn't look any different. Which there's only so much you can do with that, but it is a little frustrating because it's like it just isn't working very well.
There's lots of other things you can do.
You could, fair, but yeah.
Maybe Joel's daughter was a real brat and he could relate.
that is certainly the way they're wanting to kind of.
You remind me of my daughter in all of the wrong ways.
Yeah.
I got an image about Bella. Just DM me on X. And I should get it.
Yep.
I believe those are open to anybody. I don't have my DMs restricted, which is probably really stupid of me. But I want people to be able to reach out if they want to, which means I can also get reached out by the crazies. I know there's the crazies.
Man, but why doesn't Pedro Pascal ever shave his mustache? Like, that's got to be in his contract.
Mexican.
It's got to be. I don't know.
They always have to have him. It's a really bad mustache, yeah. Marvel and Disney are running massive cover for Fantastic Four right now because there were previously a bunch of rumors about the test screenings going over very, very poorly. And now just about every news outlet is saying the exact same thing. Oh, no, it was just one person that didn't like it. Everyone else loved it, we promise. Definitely believe us. Please go buy tickets. They even had some fake news articles of people saying because pre-sales for Fantastic Four opened this week, and they said pre-sales, people trying to get in to buy tickets for Fantastic Four are crashing the websites. So get your tickets now. And you're like, I can log on right now. The theaters are empty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's like we're still like a month out. No one has bought tickets yet. It's pretty. It's pretty telling how hard they're running cover for this movie.
That was the other thing that I watched last week. Is I watched for a second time Thunderbolts because I actually really liked it. So I don't know if you guys.
I've heard a lot of people liked it. I just don't care.
Yeah, fair enough. But I will say I thought it was pretty good. They're setting themselves up to do well if Fantastic Four can do well. But
apparently, it's also the second biggest Marvel flop. It made the. I'll pull it.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I think it's just getting to profitability now. I think it's right around in there. 180 production plus another 100 for marketing, and I think they've got it. So they've got to get up to like.
I don't think that's correct.
4 or 5. Yeah, they're around.
I think
maybe they're a little shy of it.
Pretty sure they're losing money off of this.
They're still relatively early, and honestly, what they need more than actual financial success is people to be to actually like it. More than, I mean, they want both, but yeah.
So the bare minimum is you need to double the production budget to get to make a profit, right?
They're
just past it. They're just past it,
right? And that's if you don't include any marketing.
Well, it's you double it, but it's not double if you also are including the marketing because I think you have to make it's like. Another third on top or something like that. Yeah.
Speak of the white cloaks, and they will appear. Websites are it's because they were designed by terrible Indian devs, dude. You don't need to tell me. I had to deal with a lot of overseas farmed out development, and it's not good. It's not good, and. One of the reasons I didn't mind when I found out my boss was ripping me off because I was kind of looking for a reason to get out of there. So, yeah, it's very possible. Even though they just announced, hey, we're going to need 4 seasons. You didn't see this one, Jared. They announced halfway through season 3 because they're already splitting that game 2 into 2 seasons. They're like, actually, we're going to need at least 4 seasons to properly tell the story of The Last of Us season 2. And you're like,
the only other problem with that though is that these seasons are so short already. 7 episodes for a season.
Is that it? Was that it?
That's all that was. I think it's all done. I think season 2 is done, and
it's over. It's over. Were there only 7 episodes? That's crazy.
There were only 7 episodes. Yeah. So like, yeah, sure, it's going to take you 4 seasons when you have 3 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the reported budget, and we know Marvel is horrible at reporting their budgets. If they make money, it's pennies.
It'll be just barely. I don't think that. But again, like as long to my earlier point,
but that's not what you want. You want a movie to make money. You don't want it to just break even, right?
But at this point, with how poorly things have been doing, it's the sort of thing that, like, if at the very least they can get people that to say, hey, this was a good one. This one was actually good and it has overall very positive reviews. That's going to mean that theoretically for the next one, they might get a little bit more traction. Maybe, but
it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It's pretty far down the list. It did worse than Black Widow. Yeah, they lost money on this, man.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So, there's an easy solution to this. Don't make your movies cost $200 million to make. And then this is a pretty dang good return.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
We'll see.
I won't. I don't think I'm watching this one.
Yeah, I'll see.
Yeah. What about our Facebook or?
Because he doesn't have X, is what he was saying.
Oh, you don't have X. I mean, you should be able to. Oh, you might not be able to send me a message on Discord. Let me see.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe.
You might have to friend request me first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Alex sent it to me. Got it. Just got a message from me. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? It's disgusting. It's.
Oh, please no. Oh no. Oh no.
At least she died an Avenger.
If you send me
it still looks better than what they did in Quantumania.
I only hated about 50% as much as you guys did.
I'm part of the White Cloaks or Band of the Red Hand Discord. If you find me on there, you can send me a friend request. I'll accept it. It's maybe better than what was actually in that movie. Who knows? Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's not looking good. There were 8 episodes.
Wouldn't let them release the.
I didn't hear about that.
Interesting. I don't know who that is because I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. Maybe they can get Wheel of Time traction. Who are we talking about? The Amazon? I don't think they're trying. It's not being shopped. That's the big news. Okay.
It is being shopped. It's not being picked up.
Sorry. I missed all of this. You guys were solving the problem, and I was just not paying attention to chat. You'll be passing on it? Yeah, no, I haven't. I've skipped quite a few Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Loki season 2. I watched the first and last episode and didn't miss a thing because it was garbage. I was gonna bring up Sydney Sweeney as Blade, Mark.
Hakuna Matatas.
Okay. Hakuna your own tatas, baby.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, hold on. You sent me, Mark, you sent me way too many Sydney Sweeney pictures.
Oh, dear.
I think we know where all that Sydney Sweeney stuff.
I got a new one. Oh, my goodness. I don't hate that last one you sent. You sent me, look, okay. forgive me if I don't pull up every single picture you send me, because you sent me Sydney Sweeney as Black Panther, which is irrelevant because he's white now. So if they replace him like they did in the movies with a woman, let's do it. This could be Black Panther's son's sister. Or it's also known as Black Panther's daughter.
Good job, Alan. Good job. You got there.
You sent me Sydney Sweeney as Blade. Okay. I'm going to pull them all up for you. Okay. And then you sent me, this is actually pretty dope. This is, I just saw this because you sent it like right before the show. This is not bad.
Oh, okay.
I don't hate this. This kind of works for me.
Yeah,
Sure.
She can make a good Zelda.
Sure.
Better than that man they're trying to cast as Hunter Schafer. I think that's the thing the weirdos are trying to push right now. Oh,
I didn't see that.
they're trying to make Hunter Schafer as Princess Zelda. I think he's in Euphoria. I didn't watch it because I'm not gay. So there wasn't a trans episode. See, I don't know what's fact and fiction anymore. Parody has become reality. Black Panther is white. Okay. You suffered through Euphoria season 1 just for the Sydney Sweeney bits. That's
He
low.
means that
is
for
low.
actual bits.
Yeah, and I wouldn't know, but I think she showed her bits on the show.
Probably. That'd be my guess.
I think that's how she got famous, right? Oh yeah, here was the rumor we were talking about. The American way has been replaced with the human way.
And again, you could actually probably pull it off if you do it in a certain way, but
Nah.
yeah,
No, I have a very big problem with this.
I agree with your problem with it.
You need
Again, I think that they could potentially, theoretically, build to it in a certain way that would make me not as upset about it. But on the surface like this, yeah, I'm with you with why you don't like it.
Black Panther's son's sister, also known as Black Panther's daughter. Not the kind of thing you can assume about some demographic group. I guess having a surprise white son would lead to some complications on that front. So,
Yep.
I
swear she's your daughter.
I'm not gonna Google. Did Sonny Sweeney dump him out in Euphoria? Oh yeah, the comic was. It's weird. It's really weird. That's why everyone's so confused about this Black Panther stuff. But
Wild.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be interesting. These are cool. Charles sent me this one. More AI videos. Just with the voice though, like there's been a whole bunch of Sasquatch videos going on. I guess like the whole theme is it's really easy to make like influencer style videos. With everyone's holding the camera. It's just the trend that everyone's doing right now. But
yeah, that one you shared with us last week was a whole.
These
bunch
ones are
of
pretty good too. I don't know if we
end of the world.
I don't want to waste time watching them though, but AI is scary good right now.
Yeah.
Okay, this one was funny. So we're finally talking about Wheel of Time.
Fan favorite, huh?
It's funny that you asked because you've been gone, Jared. But and it's also ironic that Screen Geek posted this article about a month late. But this is breaking news, guys. A month after its cancellation, Screen Geek has announced that the Wheel of Time is canceled, and I wanted to drag them for that because we've known for weeks.
Yeah.
This feels AI generated, and it feels nonsense. So, show's canceled. The big news was it's been confirmed so it's been canceled for a few weeks, and this week it was confirmed. Amazon Prime isn't even shopping the show, or Sony has no plans to shop the show. They're not even trying to get someone else to buy it.
I heard that they were trying,
done.
but no one was willing to buy it.
No, it is not being shopped. It is dead. It is completely 100% dead. Because if they try and shop it, they're going to get laughed at. No one wants this. It is a dirty diaper of an IP because of Amazon. It's a money pit.
Yeah.
Hasn't made a single penny. It's lost them tons of money. And just taking the financial aspects into consideration, it's a no-go zone. On top of that, you have one of the most toxic fandoms of all time. The show fans. I'm not talking about book fans. I'm talking about the people who are left who still like the show. They are the most entitled, annoying, hate-filled people, who no one would want to touch that kind of fandom. It's the kind of people that even if they like the show, they're going to drag it, right? So even with season 3. They got so pissed off that Rafe Judkins, feminist of all feminists, like the most woke person that can possibly exist, had the audacity to kill off a lesbian character, and they crucified him for it. How dare you bury your gays? Here's the thing. Here's the problem.
2 or 3
if
black
you
characters.
turn every single character diverse or gay, some of them are going to end up killed.
Yep.
What the heck? Why did that screen just stop?
Everything looks fine on our side.
No, it's on my end.
One of your other 6 screens.
Oh no. So I fixed the problem from last week. It was Discord. It popped back up, but it went blank, and so my whole screen, I could see the border, but then the screen was gray, and I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
It was a HDMI cable that went bad last week. So nobody wants Rafe. Nobody wants the IP. The IP is damaged. It's tarnished. Nobody wants the fandom. Nobody wants the showrunner. It's tainted by the Dark One's taint. Okay.
I still get a kick out of it. He named it the Dark One's taint.
On Rafe. It's such a horrible like the fans, they're disgusting. They are horrible people. I've been blocked by about 30 people just this week, and I was on vacation, and I sent out 2 tweets about hey, and it was people asking genuine questions. It was people reaching out. They said, "Hey, book fans, can you please explain to me the things that you didn't like about the show?" And I made a very detailed "Hey, these are the things I didn't enjoy." I got blocked by 30 people, and it was it wasn't just me "Hey, ha ha ha, your show's dead, you suck."
Yeah,
I was invited to talk, and I got blocked by the person who invited me. You're like, okay, so you don't actually want they're horrible people. They are horrible, horrible people. Dying to see what the Sony pitch was. Hey, would you like to purchase the 99th most watched streaming service of the fiscal year with a $200 million annual budget and a showrunner who's a PR liability, whose boyfriend will tell your core audience to unsubscribe from your streaming service if they don't get what they want?
Yep.
Are you feeling okay though? Because you read those numbers a little off.
I rounded up.
Okay.
So
yeah, but it was wild when it was streaming. It was being beat by shows that had been completed for several weeks. It was being beat by Reacher. It was being beat by
Reacher. It couldn't
House
pass
of
Reacher.
David.
4 weeks after Reacher was over, Reacher was still beating it. And the 4 days, so 4 days over 2 weeks, when the penultimate episode aired and when the finale aired, it made Amazon's in the United States, it made Amazon's #1 streaming service for 2 days,
but only
1 week,
if you
and for
filter out just TV shows. If you put
Yes.
movies in there, it was still like third or fourth.
Only if it's Amazon TV shows specifically. Like you have to have so many parameters, and it finally made #1 for 2 days, and then Reacher was beating it again, and it was losing to House
Really
of
sad.
David, which is pennies, right? So it wasn't
Which is
until
really good, by
weeks
the
and
way. If you haven't
weeks.
seen House of David.
All of the other shows had
I
been
need to check it
over
out.
for a very long time, and it
I've been to the
barely
House of
managed.
David.
Barely managed to make Amazon's top 10 for 4 days in the last 2 weeks. Not a good. So it can't even beat Amazon. It can't even compete with Amazon's other shows, and it definitely didn't compete with other streaming services. It is.
Yeah, it was really bad, and it's funny too because there was
Put the animals to bed.
episode this season that was actually really, really well done because it was very accurate to the books for the most part. They changed a couple things, but it was pretty accurate to the books.
It was the closest they've ever got
we-
to
we
actually
said it
adapting
was.
a chapter of the books.
We said
Yes.
it was accurate, and the showrunners, the show fans, when it was canceled,
House of David.
they pointed to that episode and said, "Look how good this show is." It's
Oh, you
it's
mean
such
the
a
one
shame that it
episode
was
where you
canceled."
actually where it was
Yeah.
accurate? Yeah.
Yeah, the example that they pointed to was the only episode that actually adapted the books. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're saying.
It was also the
could get
only episode
good.
in 3 seasons that focused on Rand.
Yeah,
And even that, half of the
Supposed
episode
to be the
wasn't
main
about
character.
Rand. So,
But
fans of the show seem to be willfully ignorant of the reality of why the show. Yes, no, like they're asking like I. Seeing the meltdown has been crazy, and this week specifically, like they're so confused. They're like, "Why isn't it being shopped? I don't understand. It was the best season ever." Like even Brandon Sanderson parodied that phrase. That the third season was the best season they've had because that's what people have because that's what they won't shut up about. He hasn't watched it. He didn't watch season 2. He's watched season 1 and he's seen the season 2 finale. He hasn't watched anything else. Because he just made a statement about it. Someone asked him. Let me pull up. So I had this in here to remind me to pull up. I can pull up the actual comment, but it's on my computer.
We did bring that up last week.
Oh, we did.
It was
Yeah. So
no, but that's fine.
but we got a follow up this time. So
Right.
best. So it was on one of his videos. Someone asked him, "Hey, what about the cancellation?" And he gave a response. And I'm looking in the wrong place. They're digging in the wrong place.
Yes.
Is it this one? Where did I put it? Here it is. Brando Sando. Got it. So, and we can talk about it because Jared hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
hey, you have anything to say about the Wheel of Time show being canceled? I wasn't really involved. I don't know anything more than what was public. They told me they were renegotiating and thought it would work out. Then I heard nothing for 2 months. Then I learned this from the news like everyone else. Okay, this is the sentence. I do think it's a shame, as while I had my problems with the show because I wasn't watching it, it had a fan base who deserved better than a cancellation after the best season. He didn't watch it. He's literally just saying what they won't shut up about. He heard a whole bunch of people say this was the best season yet, and you canceled it. Okay,
I like
that's
this
what they
last
said
statement.
every season. Okay, it's happened. It's season 2. They crapped all over season 1 because they could finally admit that it was garbage because season 2 was marginally better, and then season 3 came out. Oh no, yeah, season 2 we hated that, but season 3 was finally met its stride. Okay, so Sanderson doesn't actually think it's the best season ever. He hasn't watched it. He's just saying that because that's what is being said. Okay. Yeah. I largely won't miss being ignored. They wanted my name on it for legitimacy, but not to be involved in any meaningful way. Does that sound like someone who watched the season and said it's the best ever? No, he's just
or
nice.
who feels particularly upset about it. It sounds like he's
cordial.
Like, I won't miss the fact that they will just completely ignore anything I try to say. They wanted just my name and nothing else, and so that's all that they've gotten. Yeah.
Right. He's being cordial because that's who he is. He's too nice to everybody, and he kind of doesn't have stones. I like Brandon Sanderson. I have problems with him too. Okay, he's too nice. He lets people walk all over him, and it's changed. It's changed him. You changed, bro. Okay, and thanks to so that was running last week. Everyone's saying, "Oh wow, Brandon Sanderson really dogged on the Wheel of Time." And then this week, Winter is Coming dropped this article thanks to White Cloaks. Thank you, my good man White, for bringing this to attention. But this was the headline they ran with. Brandon Sanderson said fans deserved better than a cancellation. So you just didn't read the rest of his statement. Okay, yeah, media is dead. I mean, journalism
That's
is
nothing new. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
That's absolutely nothing new.
You guys watched Murderbot on my recommendation, and you liked it. That makes me feel real good.
Talking about that, yeah.
But I can get to it.
I have not gone back to Kings. It was I need to go back because I liked it. I think I watched 4 episodes. It was pretty good. Been kind of busy, and I know that what I'm going to say next is going to be a contradiction of that, because I was on vacation all last week and I didn't catch up on Kings. Instead, I watched 2 seasons of Clarkson's Farm. So, but I will finish watching Kings eventually. It was pretty good. It was a good show. Okay. Sorry. Keep bringing it up until I do. You have my permission to drag me. What was funny, I've asked them, would they be okay with the same cast and crew, but it has to be rebooted and book accurate? And they've said no. They want Rafe's story. Yeah. Screw them. It's never been about the Wheel of Time. It's been about them wanting to see a representation and the message on screen. Yeah, he wasn't even being that nice in this. Even in his cordiality, he was not being cordial.
It was a very backhanded.
It was a backhand. That's what's called a backhanded compliment or a veiled insult. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't want the books. They aren't Wheel of Time fans. They're show fans. Yes. Harriet, last I heard, she's a very private person. Last I heard, the showrunners treated her terribly, and she left in tears.
Ooh.
Last time they interacted. So
doesn't bode well.
no. It's not even about the cast and crew. It's the story and the changes that are made. Absolutely. Well, also a little bit of the cast and crew, if you count Avienda. Screw that.
And Rafe's
the Aiel aren't black, okay? And what?
And Rafe's boyfriend.
And Rafe's boyfriend. Yes, that's true. It's a little bit of the cast and crew, guys.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of the cast and crew, Nick. AKA the target audience.
Because Jared didn't know, he cast his boyfriend in one
Rafe
of the
Judkins.
roles.
Yes.
And the character
took over the whole show.
Yeah.
He has 90, like, so much of the screen time is devoted to Rafe Judkins' boyfriend.
Yep. And there was he takes the place of this warder that is supposed to die in the books, and instead he kills off.
So
a
Alana
black
has
character.
2 warders. She has a black warder who is in the books. It's I always forget his name, Ivan. Okay, and then she had another warder in the books that's not in the show. They replaced him with Rafe's boyfriend and named him. Why can't I remember his name? Maxim. Okay, so they already replaced a character, renamed him Maxim for some reason. They didn't need a new name. It could have been Rafe's boyfriend and been the character from the books. Okay,
right.
So they've already replaced a character from the books
with a just completely made up character.
Now that the character that was replaced is supposed to die and Ivan is supposed to live, but so he could keep a paycheck and a job, they killed off the black warder so that Maxim could have all the screen time.
That's the one that people got mad about. Them.
Yeah, people. Yeah, and rightfully so. But they're mad for the wrong reasons. They weren't mad because it was inaccurate. It wasn't book accurate. They were mad because it was racist. So,
yeah.
He was definitely throwing shade at them. Yeah, Mark Clark, $1.99. Thank you so much. Really, Murderbot was from me. Okay, I was gonna watch the show anyway, but yeah, Mark Clark did say I needed to read the books, and the books are good. So There you go. Mark gets some of the glory. I meant for the show fans, because even if the cast and crew were there, they wanted this story. Yeah. They need to go to. Molvienda was a purposeful shot fired at us. Oh, absolutely. The Aiel aren't black. Emmetsfield people aren't super diverse. Kyrian are very short and white. Yes. The Vork. Yeah, I read them. Okay, I'm trying to get back to. Oh, I just finished. Yeah, I think the next thing I'm reading is the war game. So I had to sneak in a Discworld book on the road trip because my son was listening with me. At least I thought he was, and then it turns out he was playing on the Switch the whole time, so he didn't listen to any of it, and I could have just started the Vor's game. So love a good season of Clarkson's Farm. So I had never watched it until this weekend.
I
started watching it in the hotel room because I'd heard a lot of people, because season 4 just dropped. So I saw some press, and I know I'd heard a lot of people talking about it in the past. And I never watched Top Gear or the
he's the guy from Top Gear,
not Gran Torino, Grand Tour. Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson and the other two guys whose names I can't remember. James, not Gunn, but something.
Right.
I've always seen clips of the show, and it's very entertaining. I just never sat down and watched it, and so I felt like Clarkson's Farm was a good place to jump in. And holy crap! I watched season 1 over the last week. One episode after in the hotel and stuff like that, and every day. And I've binged season 2 completely yesterday and today. So it's beautiful. It's not. It's hilarious. It's entertaining. It's heartfelt. It's informative. It's educational, and it's beautiful. Season 2 made me cry.
Huh.
There's an episode where a calf gets born, and I freaking cried because it almost died. It was incredible. Watch Clarkson's Farm. And if you don't already hate government, this will make you hate the government more. And it's not even my government, which I already hate.
Yeah, it's the European.
It's Britain. It's insane. It is absolutely insane, the kind of like power trip that these people, they just decided that they were going to dislike this man and use the government as a tool to stop him from farming. It's freaking crazy. It's insane. Yes. Season 1 doesn't really get into it. It's just him like, hey, I'm an idiot and I'm trying farming. And then season 2 is like, no, they're like real problems with this whole setup, and he's trying to fix them. And it's crazy, crazy good. Dragonlance is also on my list of things that I'll need to read eventually.
I've read those when I was a lot younger. My brother got me into them, and they were awesome. We had some annotated versions of them.
I don't need any more book recommendations.
You don't have
too many on my list.
I'm definitely hearing that.
Yeah, James May and Richard, what's his face? Very entertaining. The clips I've seen, and are hilarious. It was just never a show that was on my radar, though. Yeah, Clarkson Farm, genuinely, unironically phenomenal. Yeah, nice. And he's really highlighting some crazy issues that farmers have to go through, and he's like, it's heartbreaking too, because he's like, this is horrible for me. And it's not my income. Like, this is a passion project for me. This is me. I'm 60 years old. I'm retiring, and I felt like I wanted to reconnect with nature, and so I'm trying out farming, and it's been hell. And I'm subsidizing my farm with the millions that I already have, with my Who Wants to Be a Millionaire money, Yeah. And he's like, I don't know how these people do it. I don't know how regular people survive. It's crazy.
Wow.
It doesn't send me a message, but when they respond to my comments, I can't respond back because it says I've been blocked. So
yeah,
that happened a lot. The inheritance tax in the UK is wild. It's on purpose. They are trying to steal land from the people. It's
I've heard about that.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before. It's Marxism, okay? It's worse in California. Yeah, it's happening in California. It's happening in America. It's happening in the UK. You will own nothing and you will be happy. They don't want you to own anything. You're being priced out of your inheritance. It is evil and wild. It's insane. And Jeremy Clarkson might be our savior.
Yep.
And on top of that, it's a really cool show about farming. So,
man, we need a Jeremy Clarkson
no kidding.
and Nathan Fillion.
I watched the
crossover.
season 2 finale ended 15 minutes before this show started. And what a banger to go out on. Season 2 was hilarious. And I'm probably going to... No, I need to edit. I need to edit some videos after this. I can't watch more. So, okay. So there's been this big push. They literally, dude, they started a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
They're taking money from people to run ads and stuff. And it's hilarious. White Cloaks again for putting this in my radar. Nowhere on the billboard does it say the Wheel of Time.
It just says what?
It just says save Watt. The wheel must turn. Keep turning. Sign the petition. Save Watt. What is this? What is it?
What are we saying?
What is it?
Yeah.
David, you sent me like the same thing, but you noticed all of the comments are by bots.
Yes. It's hilarious. It's all the same people, and it even has a number. It has their same exact thing and a number, and then it iterates and sends another random number. It's like
this is like 10 bots.
Holy crap! It's the same people
Spamming.
over and over and over again. It's like these people are desperate.
Yes. How on earth did our show get canceled? We definitely had real views, guys. Yes, I got the next one. Yeah, so they paid for 1 day. That billboard played for 16 seconds every hour for a single day. And the next one was way worse, and I already got it pulled up. Thanks. Yeah, 97% non-book readers for sure. Stop trying. I guessed 30, but it seemed like a whole bunch. Okay. Yeah. The next. Okay, we already got that. We got this. We got this. This was their next one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom out so it's. Can you read that? This was the next day.
Oh no.
Just wonder like the tiny text underneath this is bigger.
Yeah.
Than anything on here.
I
okay.
could have spent the
and guess what?
money
It says
Amazon subscription, but they canceled my fave show.
Wait. They censored out Amazon like it's a curse word.
Yeah, right.
I could have spent money on Amazon subscription, but they canceled my fave show. So here we are instead again. I don't know why it's again, because I don't think people are going to remember that you had a billboard on yesterday for 16 seconds. Help save the Wheel of Time. SaveWatt.com.
Oh boy, that is embarrassing. That's like it's like a middle schooler PowerPoint presentation levels of awful.
Yeah, the Wheel of Time has been saved from Rafe Judkins. And then Rafe Judkins made a statement where he's so confused. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. He just says it's not being shopped.
Yeah. There was something else he said in his comments. I don't remember what it was, but
I don't know. The truth is, I don't know, because I'm really bad at business. Apparently, I couldn't possibly understand why it was losing tons of money. That's why. Okay, I wish I could say something clear, but I can't. The actors, blah blah blah, bunch of smoke up their butts. We made the Nielsen top 10 for nearly 20 weeks. No one has ever been able to do that, except all of the people who have, and have had much more successful shows that didn't cost more than Game of Thrones did. And it looks like trash because you spent the entire budget on wigs.
Yeah.
That don't even look good. My core goals: making the show, to pitch, blah 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 blah. Actors, zero accountability. We made sacrifices. I don't care. Devastating. Much has been written about this larger trend in TV. Oh, it's a trend that they cancel stuff. It couldn't possibly be my responsibility that I made a garbage show.
Yeah, that's I remember him saying, I don't know if it's in the next one, but he says it's a natural thing for shows to get better as they go on, and the first couple seasons are not as good.
Is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it said
is an art form much like epic fantasy, which is very best gives yada yada.
Generally think that goes against the fundamental strength of television, long form storytelling. It's an art much like epic fantasy that is best gives people a place to go. Oh, I thought it had a.
Yeah.
There was another. I think it's right here.
Yeah, he said something about
I think it is in that
all TV shows suck from the beginning and they grow and get better.
Yeah, the Wheel of Time manages to do what TV shows do, which is get better over time. And you're like, okay,
kind of.
But here's the thing, and this is what pisses me off. I certainly hope it does, because this book series and these fans deserve to see the story finished. You didn't start it.
Yeah,
you never started telling the story. The show has nothing to do with the books.
Other than in name. Oh. He went out of the way to make every single character their exact polar opposite. Yep. If they were supposed to make one choice, they made a completely different choice. So all the way down to if a character is supposed to be famous for wearing white and silver exclusively, she was dressed in all black dominatrix leather, you know? It's like, how... Oh, gosh. Says he went out of his way to piss off book fans and then is surprised.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Nobody watched.
Because the Wheel of Time books do what television has always done best: get better as they go.
Right. Yep.
Book 2 is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't take long for the Wheel of Time to get better. Okay, granted. Book 1 didn't immediately hook me. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but it didn't establish itself as super unique. You only realize how good book 1 is on a reread, and you're like, wait, no, like this is actually super unique. It's just, I don't know, the way it's structured. Book 1 didn't do the great job of showcasing just how good and unique the whole series is.
Yeah.
Book 2 did that for me. And I finished book 2 and I was like,
I agree.
Okay, this is not what I thought I was getting into. This is, I know what this is now. And then on rereading book 1, you're like, wait, no, this was there the whole time. I don't know why I didn't notice this. It's just because I wasn't expecting it, you know?
Yeah.
It did not take long for the series to capture hearts. Also note that, the Wheel of Time kind of gets worse as it goes, if we're being honest. There is a pretty universal slog. Yeah. Winter's Heart, Crossroads of Twilight are not the best.
Yeah.
and it picks itself back up. It recovers by the end. But they definitely slowed down as they went. You can't start like that. Anyway, I hate this. I'm convinced the Wheel of Time show, if it makes it to the end, it will pay for itself and then some. The story needs to be told through to the end. I agree. It should have been told. They're like, have you ever heard of the sunk cost fallacy? If you just keep putting more and more money into it, it'll eventually pay off. If you spend billions of dollars on this TV show, like completely ignoring that they already spent a ton of money on this show. What kind of TV show can say that they got $200 million as their budget? That is not common. That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta pull it up. Game of Thrones. Thrones budget by season. Do I have to pull up a screen rant? I hope I can get this somewhere else.
You click on enough Screen Rant articles. You don't need it eating any more. Your recommendations.
How much did season 1 cost? There's so many. Oh, gosh. My ear just started itching like crazy. Okay, here we go. Okay?
Yeah. 60 million.
6 million per episode in season 1. 60 million for season 1. More than double that.
Yeah.
For the Wheel of Time, okay? It wasn't until... Even then.
Season 3 made 50 million. Season 6 cost a whopping 100 million.
That's half of your budget.
Yeah.
Now, it's even season 7 and season 8 ballooned out. Yeah. For some reason, I thought that season 8 was more
Only
expensive
6
than the Wheel of
episodes
Time.
at 15 each. It's 90 million.
Yeah, so apparently season 6 was the most expensive season at 100
per episode, but then
I am not being hyperbolic here. As much as I dislike Rafe Judkins for his ideologies and his screenwriting and stuff, like Rafe Judkins needs to be in jail. This, like, you cannot make a show this crappy for double the budget of Game of Thrones season 8. Like, there has to be something nefarious going on. Some kind of money laundering. Like this really should be investigated at a criminal level. There's no way that season 1 could have cost 170 million.
No.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe if you're trying to include something like the purchasing of the rights itself, kind of like they did with like Rings of Power, where it's like a lot of that cost came up front because of purchasing the rights.
Yeah, but they're talking about production.
Yeah,
that was not part of the rights. That was their budget.
Like, it could be that, but even that, it needs to be one of those things where, because you just spent a lot to get the rights, you need to be starting out small with your budgets otherwise and really tight on the budgets until you pay that back, until you earn that back,
Yeah.
A reboot petition I'll do, yeah. It's not the Wheel of Time, it's embezzlement. Globetrotting around with your boyfriend is expensive. Lots of orgies. Yeah, like embezzlement, something. Like, if not embezzlement, just sheer criminal incompetence.
Yeah. I want to see how much his boyfriend was paid to be on the show and how
give us Taylor Napier's salary, please.
I mean,
how much did he get? How much did Rafe Judkins get?
There's a wild parallel there between that and what happened with the Acolyte as well, where it's like there were like Skeleton Crew, much cheaper show, looked as good or better, much better story, whereas Acolyte was much more expensive and not as good, and
it looked awful.
Okay, sometimes, Yeah, and guess what? There was also somebody who made sure that they hired their partner for that. At least that one they didn't take over the entire show, but
this is equivalent to the budget that Andor had. Andor was $600 million for the 2 seasons. So okay, a little bit less than that, but you can see the money in Andor.
Yeah,
they do. It does.
How much does House of the Dragon cost? Let's see.
It's probably up there.
It's 200. It's the same. It's the same budget as the Wheel of Time. $200 million for the first season.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you can see it on screen.
Yeah.
It looks expensive. This show, they used the set for Tar Valon. I guess the first time you see it is not Tar Valon. It's in Shadow Logoth. It's the same exact set. They use Shadow Logoth, Tar Valon, and like 2 other cities use the exact same set.
Was it Kyrie? No, it wasn't Kyrie.
We never got to see Kyrie.
It was. It was the.
Well, I can't remember the name.
The other one that starts with C. That's the capital of. Where
it wasn't Tanchico, and I didn't even.
That was
see any else.
Right. with all that song, where were the hills? Anyway.
This is their. I didn't pull it up. So this is the petition, right? It's so. I mean, we know at least half of these are bots, right? Minimum. What's funny is it actually looks pretty good, and then you scroll down. Oh, it's critically acclaimed. Yes, by 10 critics, right? And then they compare it to House of the Dragon season 2. Okay, that's fair. Let's House of the Dragon 2 got a lot of bad press. I enjoyed it more than most people did, but a lot of people are, it's so slow. And you're like, it's clearly building to something.
Yeah. I had my issues with it, but it was better.
And then they compare it to The Witcher season 3, another show which is canceled.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it did better than this horrible piece of garbage, guys. It should be renewed. It did better than Rings of Power, which, okay, that's a fair comparison because it's the same network and it costs way more. It's also going to get canceled, okay? But it's just so embarrassing, Camelin.
Camelin, that's the one. Thank you.
It's so embarrassing that they think that this is a flex.
Yeah.
It's 10 critics. When season 1 was reviewed by almost 100. Which still isn't a good number. Okay, let's go to does this link? It doesn't actually link, so you have to Google it yourself. Okay,
yep.
House of the Dragon, Rotten Tomatin. Okay, House of the Dragon season 2. Let's pull it up. Let's see how many critics they got. 300.
Oh, and by the way, that's wildly inaccurate at this. Oh no, season 3. Sorry, I did season 2.
Season 2.
The Wheel of Time. I was going to say season 2 was only 86%, but. And 97, 65 reviews.
65 reviews for
season 3. Time season 3 compared to 80.
They boosted that.
48 for season 2. So there was fewer for season 2.
So just a month ago, that number was lower. So half of those new reviews for season 3 have been dropped within the last month.
Interesting.
It used to have less than season 2.
Yeah.
For the entirety of its run.
Huh.
So you can see what's happening, right?
Or at the very best, all the hullabaloo got people to decide to rate it, and it didn't change the rating at all. No. I suppose it didn't bring it down, which you would think it probably would have, but yeah.
But but look at season 1. Look at season 1. It had over was it 94 reviewers?
For season 1.
For season 1.
Wheel of Time season 1.
right? It's called survivorship bias, okay? If season 1 is reviewed by 94 reviewers, which is really
Still not a
bad.
lot.
That is not a good number, okay? And 80% of them think it's good. Well, the other 20%, guess what? They're going to stop watching. And then you get to season 2, and it has a better rating because the people who didn't like it stopped watching.
Yep.
It's literal survivorship bias. Wow, they doubled the reviews in a month.
Yeah.
And it's still terrible. If that's all you can get, critically acclaimed by 50 critics. That's not a good thing. And we also know these are all censored now compared to season 1, which was, it was censored back then too, but like I can't, if I leave a review, it will get removed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Andor season 2 has 97% with 185 reviews, which is still not a huge number, but it's more than double.
Andor got horrible viewership.
Yeah.
And it's good.
And it's still got more than double the reviews of this, the number of reviews of this.
No, and if you look at the popcorn meter too,
609.
Season 1 got 500 reviews. Half of the people didn't like it.
5,000.
So 5,000. They stopped watching. Then you get season 2. Hey, look, half of the reviews are gone, but it's so much better, guys.
Yep.
Do you not understand math or statistics?
I did fail my prob and stats class, or I barely passed it. I got a D.
Yeah.
The hills not having arms folded under them was a huge misfire for the Wheel of Time. Okay. It was one of the phrases that just the author kind of used as a crutch, or not as a crutch, but just didn't realize he used so much. Oh, she folded her arm under her breasts, because she was upset, it's a kind of a meme, but
kind of like raising eyebrows for Sanderson.
Yeah, exactly like that. So Wheel of Time is dead. It is not being shopped. And good freaking riddance. Goodbye. Screw you. Rafe Judkins is a criminal. I'm not even being facetious. Like, I think he needs to be investigated. Like that. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Slightly better than that one guy that literally, I think it was Netflix, gave him almost probably about as much money, and he literally didn't produce a thing, less than what Rafe did, So,
yeah. Or like
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh yeah,
Phoebe Waller-Bridge has been paid for 3 years to produce a Tomb Raider script. Paid a couple $1 million. I couldn't do anything.
Yep. And then the Joker movie, part Folie Deux or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wanted to do. The producer didn't want to do. The director didn't want to do. The actors didn't want to do. And they're like, "You're doing this movie."
Then you're going to pay me like crazy.
They made it. That's all that can be said about it. But goodness. Yeah.
If you want to go look up Salty Roast. You're talking about.
Looks like it's a YouTube channel, probably.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about Salty Sea, are we? I'll look it up. YouTube. It's a YouTube channel, Salty Roast. They did
season 1 eps.
I don't see anything Wheel of Time related on here.
I don't think they did Wheel of Time. It's just.
I wonder if it's just this is somebody who did a good job doing salty roasts.
They said you wish this person was still active, so they're not making videos anymore. But
maybe if they'd done season 1 of Wheel of Time, but maybe that's what I would have assumed from this comment. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So Murderbot.
Murderbot is 2 hours. Do we want to get
right?
Yeah. So
one show to talk about today.
I will say. This episode was 6 minutes longer, and it actually kind of felt like an episode.
I think it was probably the best episode so far. I really
structurally,
enjoyed this episode.
I wasn't a fan of the humor they tried to put with the sex crazed lady. I thought that was weird. I thought that was a weird touch.
That
really
was
fit.
weird, but
I
really liked the rest of her character though. That one scene was weird and awkward.
Her trying to give him a kiss was very awkward, but it was I found it amusing in what it was trying to do and being very awkward.
Yeah. I really liked her character and her introduction though. It was just
they were shell-shocked. Was it just me, or were they pretty heavily implying that she's a mole?
That's definitely what I was thinking.
The murderbot like, hey, you would. He literally says you would bring someone in and trust them immediately if you thought you were trying to save them. Maybe she's the one that made all of the robots go rogue.
It almost makes me wonder if that's a red herring then, because they're setting it up well enough that way. But
also, she's not in the book.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing, but they could easily tie her into whatever, you know.
I will also say, and now because David had made it sound like he was thinking it was only 6 episodes, it does sound like it's supposed to be 10 episodes now.
Nice.
When you watch the intro, like the actual,
we're halfway through.
Okay, yeah, but so when you watch the intro, it especially when I was thinking it was only 6 episodes long, and it was at the end of episode 4 that you finally get the reveal of these dark sec units, and I'm like, but wait a second, in the very the show's intro,
it gives it away.
That there's going to be these dark looking sec units, so it's like
there's also a lot of weird, trippy stuff. He's flying through space,
Yeah, well, and I
how much of this is,
that Star Trek?
How much of this is like a Severance intro where you're like, okay, this
that's fair, but because it did give you a lot of those Severance vibes, but at the same time, it's like it does feel more linear, that a little less trippy. It has that same feel to it, but it's less trippy. But I will say that Star Trek show that they have in the Star Trek ripoff is pretty funny. I love seeing Clark Gregg there with his just like ridiculous mutton chops and whatever going on.
It's great. I would love to see an actual production of this cheesy sanctuary moon or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, that was good to see. I had a couple. There was a gag in episode 2, and so since I just barely caught up with it, the gag where I forget his name, but the guy that David Esmalchian plays, where he calls in sec unit and says, he's like not facing towards him, and he sits down in the chair, and he's about to turn, but it doesn't like rotate, and he does the really that one got me. I thought that was a pretty good one.
Oh, there we go. I got a different salty roast. It was like, oh yeah, it's been inactive for a while.
The other thing though that I was like, one of my criticisms that came from nearly that same scene is when he tells Techbot to sit down. I do kind of wish that they did a little bit more to make Techbot a little bit more robotic. Obviously, his demeanor is, but that's almost more his personality quirk within who he is. So like when he sits down, he like sits down like supporting himself on the arms of the chair or whatever, like a human would. And I feel like, it would have been a really cool way to like show him being robotic and overstrong, that he was able to just do that kind of a sit without things like that. There, I was like, man, I do want to agree, a little bit more robotic.
Were these re-uploaded? Because they're all out of order. So episode 5, 1, 6, 2, or maybe he started doing it halfway through and then went back. So he started at episode 5, 6, and then okay. Maybe that's what happened.
That would make sense.
I have the world.
I'll have to watch this.
That's good.
This is great.
Screw the source material. Yeah. Anyway, so and then I liked. Oh, there was a bit in episode 3 when they actually go to the other team's place where Sekuna says, "Wait here," and they're like, "Okay, we'll wait here." And then he goes, and then it shows them overlooking in a completely different location. I'm like, wait a second, what? That was off. But other than that, I really like the communicator. Looked like the ones from Star Wars. And so far, my only other biggest complaint is that it's almost frustratingly short. Like it feels like it has a longer story to tell. Like it's trying to tell a big, long, epic story, but it's telling it really fast.
Yeah. Well, the source
what it
material
has actually told has been done well and progressed well, but it just feels like it's a long story.
And that's we've been talking about this the whole time. Because the first week it wasn't so bad because they dropped 2 episodes.
Okay, yeah.
And it felt like watching one episode. And then the next 2 weeks was kind of bad because it was like 20 minutes and you got to the story and then it stopped. And then another 20 minutes and you're like, oh, like if they needed to be 40-minute episodes.
See, and for me, like
absolutely solve the problem.
Binged through the first 5, so like I didn't get the like, oh, I'm stopped with like no resolution, but because it was
it still felt fast.
Here's the progression of episodes. When you get to the end of the episode, it felt very much like, well, I guess we did kind of learn something, but it was a very little thing, and it kind of came suddenly. Like we were like,
the audiobook is like,
there's the result, and
the audiobook. The audiobook is like 3 hours long.
Yeah, so like it sounds like it's not a very long story to begin with. So
it's a very short novella.
The whole progression, because at least to me, what it seems like it's progressing to is he has no restrictions, and then he finds these humans that are actually not a-holes, and so he's learning, but like he's progressing through it too slowly, but also like too quick. It's a weird way that it's hitting me, that it's like it's good, but it's weird.
They have kind of buried the lead with a lot of the reveals that have happened, and it's pretty obviously because they're stretching it out a little bit, like the runtime is going to be longer than 3 hours.
Just a little bit. I mean, we're just about there right now, so
right. I think just about.
Yeah. But it's been a very entertaining show, and I think the guy's doing there's been a lot of fun things in it that it's been able to play around with, and so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's been pretty accurate. It's been pretty book accurate. They've added a few things. They haven't really taken anything out. Like even this character, that gets shot and then rescued. She's not in the book, and I don't hate it. I didn't like the. Does he have a pee-pee joke? Was like,
yeah, that was pretty awkward. I mean, I appreciated that everyone else found it as awkward as we did, but
I mean, the thing that saved it was him saying, "I'm so glad I was unconscious for this part." Right? I was like, okay, which is kind of his whole thing. He hates sex bots. He hates humans. He doesn't want to be considered human. And so every time they say, no, treat him like a person, he's like, please do not treat me like a person. I am not a person.
Yeah, I love that.
He's really good.
Aspect of it. Yes, Skarsgård sick bot.
I'm enjoying it so far. This week's episode was pretty good. Pretty good. I think I might, now it's like 5 episodes in, I might just like rewatch the whole thing and just see how it flows like you experienced it.
Yeah.
Because you are right. It does kind of feel like it's rushing and dragging at the same time.
It's the sort of phenomenon I remember when the Ender's Game movie came out. I watched it, and
I feel like it's pretty different. I understand what you're saying. It's done way better than Ender's Game, but I understand the comparison.
My comparison being that, like, you blast through what's supposed to be 6 years in this 2 hours. You barely feel like there's a progression of time during that. But then I had a friend that came with me. I think I've told this story, so that's probably why you know exactly what I'm saying. But like that he had never read the book, so he didn't know it, and he just felt like it was slow and boring because he didn't know all of the stuff.
Well, because it blasted through so fast, you couldn't focus on anything interesting.
Exactly,
and that's the thing. Like, if you actually watch the Ender's Game movie, it's not like an unfaithful adaptation. It's actually pretty dang faithful to the books. It's just that it has to cut out 90% of it.
Yeah.
But what's there? Like, they didn't add anything that wasn't in the books. Like, and I think its problem is it tried to be too faithful, and so they're zooming through this. The movie feels like a montage, and you're like, okay, but there's no humanity.
They tried
here,
to be too
right?
faithful.
There's no emotional connection here,
which is also wild because the book itself is not long. I forget that. Like, I have
pretty short.
Book, it's about
I think it's like a 10-hour,
but it's actually both of them.
Maybe 9-hour audiobook.
And Speaker for the Dead, as well as Ender's War or whatever. And it's short. Like, but but the other problem is that they ran into the problem of this was right after like The Hobbit had come out and the Hunger Games movies had split things into two books, or one book into two things. That it's like I could see why they didn't feel like they could get away with trying to split it into multiple movies, but it needed to be a trilogy, and you could actually explore it really well. And like, oh, it's so good.
It's really hard to adapt.
Yeah, I get
especially when half of the book takes place in his mind too.
Well,
you're like,
yeah, that's the thing though that also drove me a little crazy was because I remember he had a big commentary about how like he never figured out how he would be able to adapt it until he wrote Ender's Shadow as a like here's an outside perspective of what's going on with Ender.
Right.
Like to me it seemed like they didn't really pull anything from Ender's Shadow.
No. Yeah, if you read his excerpt where he like talks about how the book should be adapted, that is, he was actually talking, and there was a different director. He names the director, and he's like, I really hope. He's like, this is what he's been saying, and I think that is a good way to adapt the book, and that is not what we got on screen. And it's tough, man, because I love that series. I'm reading.
I need to go back.
I'm almost done with the Ender's Shadow series. I have Shadow of the Giant left.
And then they've got a couple of those late, like ones that have come out more recently that are kind of connected.
Yes. So the original story ends with Children of the Mind with Ender, right? So it's Ender's Game and then a trilogy, which is kind of just one story broken up into three, right?
Yeah.
And then it's Ender's Shadow, which is mirroring Ender's Game, and then there's three Ender's Shadow follows. And then more recently, he wrote Shadows in Flight, which bridges the two series, and then The Last Shadow, which is the conclusion of both stories.
Okay. Has that come out?
Yeah.
Okay.
A few years ago.
I need to check that one out. I did also. There was also like an Ender in Exile that came out that's supposed to kind of bridge between Ender's Game and
so Ender in Exile replaces the last chapter of Ender's Game.
That's right. It
kind of retcons a few things like, hey,
it connects it in with a shield.
This is the canonical.
Shadow. Yeah,
it's a canonical replacement of the final chapter.
Remember, there's also a bunch of like random.
It's also like 10 hours. It's almost the same length as Ender's Game.
Yeah,
like this is a pretty big retcon. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, the last chapter of Ender's Game was very much like he flew out to
a bunch of stuff happened while he was unconscious, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then you get to here you are on the planet and you get to find the queen, which was again the weird straw that broke the camel's back from me watching
Hunger
the movie.
Games. Yeah, I've heard Hunger Games is a great adaptation. I don't think the books or the movies are good though, but faithful adaptation.
I need to get around to the new Hunger Games one. I want to reread everything and then get into that one.
I don't. I hated those movies so much.
I like the books.
I hated them because everyone said they were good, and I watched them like this is not good. This is.
I enjoyed the books, but yeah, it was also of the time, like such the dystopian, thing. It was like it was very much of the time.
PETA, instead of taking a tree and putting it over his face, paints his face to look like a tree because that's a better hiding spot. He must have been sitting there in front of a mirror, like a river mirror, for like 10 hours doing this makeup just so that he could have his face exposed. Just hide under a tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
The storytelling is retarded.
Did you see the Studio C did their parodies with their songs of it and talking about how like he's got his whole thing was supposed to be like in the training was like that he's so strong, and they make a comment in one of the songs that Studio C did that's a power so awesome that he doesn't even ever try to use it once.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I remember they made fun of the tree thing and how it should have ended.
I know it's a me problem, but I was morally opposed to Studio C because I did improv at BYU, and they spawned out of Divine Comedy at BYU and did their own sketch show, and so none of us could found
Okay.
funny.
I remember
We
watching
couldn't.
some of
We
this
were.
stuff.
They were the enemy. So
I remember watching some of the stuff of them when they were in Divine Comedy, like Halo, the parody of Halo.
they ported over a bunch of their Divine Comedy sketches into Studio C.
Yeah.
And I always found them mediocre. I will say though there are maybe like 5 sketches that are genuinely funny. Of course, I haven't watched them in 10 years though. So
a lot of their newer stuff has been very hit and miss, but they've had a few good things lately since they've got some of the original cast back. But
the one where they're comparing like the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, that one was pretty good. Where they're like, "Oh, wrong wizard," but it's like that one is pretty good.
That's the story. That's the story time one, right? Where they also just make fun of how like Life of Pi and Calvin and Hobbes sound a lot similar to A Man and His Imaginary Tiger.
Yeah. And of course the Scott Sterling was really well done. So I think even they revisited that one too, and it was also really good.
They've done a couple of those, I think.
But it was out of pride, we could never admit that show was funny.
That's fair enough, I suppose. Even though it was, you actually should just be able to claim them as offsprings of you. So you should actually be like, look at my children, see how amazing that, like they came from us.
No, they didn't come from us. They came from Divine Comedy, and Divine Comedy was full of douchebags. So,
so I thought you were saying you were in Divine Comedy, and then they spun off of that and thought they were too good for you or something. But
no, they were very elitist.
Good point, Martina. Good point.
Yep.
Very silly. The Starving Games. That was a movie. Yeah. I didn't ever watch that one.
I feel like that might have been a little bit less, a little more adult than I think, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think it's made by the same people that did all the scary movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, one of those. What's the? They did the Spider-Man spoof with
Yes.
With Drake.
Bird was really good. Like
with Drake and Josh Drake.
Hero movie.
It's like he's the dragonfly. It's got Leslie Nielsen in it as like his uncle who dies.
Yes.
That is genuinely
I heard that one was really, really good.
But
what's that one called?
Most of those movies are
superhero movie.
I think it's called Superhero Movie. Yeah.
Okay. I never really saw most of those.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I watched the full movie, but there are still like scenes from that movie that are ingrained in my mind that like that is a really clever joke.
Yeah.
So
I remember when we were growing up, they had the first 2 scary movies that were rated R, and the third one was PG-13. So we got to watch the third one. It was so dumb. That's the one that made fun of signs, I think. And,
yeah.
What else?
It's probably not.
Yeah,
I didn't.
That's what I was thinking. I
was.
I haven't seen it, but
pretty sure it wasn't.
Seen something about that.
Anyway, that's about it, right? Next week is another Murderbot episode, and then the week after that is Murderbot and Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it'll be just those 2 shows for a while until I don't have any programming after Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but I assume something's going to come out because we're supposed to get a lot of other stuff. Right? We're supposed to get a Terminal List season 2 pretty soon. We're supposed to get the prequel Terminal List pretty soon. I don't know when that comes out. I'll have to look it up. The Bear season 4. Oh no, we get the Bear next month. We get the Bear season 4 next month, guys.
Oh dang! I have not watched any of the Bear.
But they're dropping it all. They're dropping it all at once. So we need to. We have to decide. We have to decide if we're going to be responsible, and we'll have to come up with a payment plan so we know how many episodes a week we're watching, and then we'll meet the first week, and other Jared is going to come on. Oh, I watched the whole thing because I couldn't stop myself because I have no self control. So
that's what happened for season 3.
We're going to be playing Conan tomorrow because it's the only day that I can because I'm going to be busy for the rest of the week. Any time. What can you play? I don't know.
I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff
Organize
to do
it
tomorrow.
Probably afternoon is the easiest time.
Maybe in the evening, but
because that's when I can slough the kids off on my wife. Oh, F1 looks really good. I don't think I'll see it in theaters, but it does look really good.
Yeah. I might just because I can go to whatever movies, but yeah.
And Superman Legacy drops in 1 month, and it's it's do or die for DC.
That it is.
It is.
And signs are pointing more to die than do for me.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm so anyway. I'm sure I would like The Bear. I just have never gotten to it, and it's on Hulu right now. We have Disney without Hulu. I think I did finally find a way I could access Hulu again through I paid for another access to Hulu with my father-in-law.
Although I don't know how we're gonna do this though, bro, because I tried to watch Hulu the other day and it said it locked me out. It said it was, is this device in your primary home or whatever? And
Are you?
so yeah, they might be
Hulu?
locking down on screen sharing.
Are you using our sister's Hulu?
Yes.
So I might be able to get to that. But there's also, this is season 4 and there's already 3 seasons.
Look, that'll slow it down anyway, okay? We can be responsible.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I will try to watch more Kings this week. But it's also a very, very busy week.
Yeah.
This whole summer is crazy busy for me. So but we do need a new show to watch for the week of August the 3rd. That's when the schedule becomes empty. But I'm sure something. I just need to go back and see. I'm sure, like Stranger Things is supposed to come out soon too. I don't really care about that though. Oh God! Why is God of War still on this list? That's not happening anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was Rafe Judkins, man.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? I thought that they changed that over to being
right. So it's not happening this year. Like it was
originally
supposed to come out this year.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We're supposed to. Okay, The Gentleman season 2. That's what I'm real excited for. I don't know when that's coming out, but man, I am.
So when they said that they've gotten rid of Rafe Judkins, but now they've got Ronald D. Moore from Battlestar Galactica. Are you excited about that?
Sorry, Battlestar Galactica. What?
So Ronald D. Moore, who did the modern Battlestar Galactica, he's the one that's now the showrunner of God of War.
God of War?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, sure.
So
I've only seen a few episodes of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
and they were great. And
close. I was so close to finishing the rebooted series. I had 2 episodes left, and then it left Prime. So I need to. I got the last 2. I need to finish it.
Yeah, when I did
started watching the original series too, though, and yeah, the effects are janky, but dang, the original series is really good.
Yeah, I ended up going and watching the original series, but then I started the reboot, but I only got through like a couple of seasons. So I think I'm like a season and a half or 2.5 seasons in out of the 4. I think it is 4 or 5. And then I fell off of it. Although the other thing that I watched besides the original series was I also watched Galactica 1980.
Yeah,
that was an interesting one. I mean, it was a thing.
Yeah, it sparked 1980 sparked a lot of the plot points that they took in the rebooted series.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
did it better. But
it looks like Alien Earth drops August 12th.
Yeah,
which I will. I don't know how. It's on FX? Is that going to be going through Hulu then?
It'll be Hulu then.
Hulu?
Yeah.
Hulu
I'm definitely watching that. I am an Alien fan.
I appreciate your call out there, Martina.
Need to catch up on those too.
Yeah, we got it. Resident Alien's out too. Oh, if there's a lull in the programming, we can check out the other show by the Gentleman Man, the Mobland, which I've heard is phenomenal.
I have heard good things about that.
I think there's like 2 more episodes. Maybe it just ended, but people are loving Mobland.
I will also say it slammed me with ads like the week or 2 before it came out. Like any YouTube video I was watching, every 5 minutes it was the same ad for Mobland. Every 5.
Yeah, they've been. Yeah, I've seen a lot of ads, and I'm
like, it looks good, but stop.
Yeah,
right, that's the thing. Like, I don't need to see ads for it. Like, I'm gonna watch it.
And I'm even fine with show me an ad every now and then to remind me or whatever else. Sure. But literally when you were showing me the same ad every 5 minutes or at the beginning of every single video that I watch or whatever it was way too much. Way too much.
I mean, look, if it's got Guy Ritchie's name on it, I'm going to watch it, okay? I will eventually get back to Ark Season 2 as well. There's a lot. There's a lot of my Earth Hive book. Oh, the Alien books. Cool. Yeah, so next week it will be more Murderbot and whatever I can get around.
And to the poll that's out there, I won't be here next week, but I will be here the following week probably. So David, you got 2 weeks to get your video out.
See.
I was gonna say, did that end? Is there a result on that poll?
Well, it's not going to happen this week. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, there's a Wes Anderson movie too, which is apparently his best work since Grand Budapest Hotel.
I was going to say, is that the Phoenician whatever?
The Phoenician Scheme, I think is what it's
called.
Yeah. So, all right, that's it. Anything else to say? I don't have anything else.
Well, I got, and then some.
Oh, they just made it public. Hold on, Snape fired. Hold up.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Snape fired. Snape. Let's.
Severus Snape.
I'm still seeing rumors on this. If he is, I think that's a great choice. Because I saw the rumors that he was getting sacked on X. But let's see. Snape. Let's Google. Snape fired.
Yeah, all the articles I'm seeing they're just questioning whether it happened or not.
It's all, hey, she's not going to fire him. It might not have been her that fired him either, you know?
Yeah.
Let's sorted by.
Is
no.
she even involved in the TV show? Because I heard
yeah.
they didn't want her involved.
I mean, of course, a lot of them don't want her involved, but like she would have to choose to say, no, I don't want to be involved in order for them to have her not involved.
Yeah.
Because she has an article jumping the gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot more rumors now, though.
And honestly, again, to the points that I saw some people saying, like, yeah, it sounds like he's a great actor. Find another role for him that doesn't have as much fleshed out in there. Honestly, like,
yeah,
I am okay with casting with even race swapping a few of these other characters that you can get in there because, yeah, on all the movies we had just a bunch of white characters. Fine, whatever, but not Snape, who's literally described as being like sallow skinned constantly and pale and like it's kind of the word like we were making
like character description aside, his role in the story, that's like the worst one. That's the worst person you could choose to make black. Everyone is constantly suspicious of the one black guy, right?
Yeah.
He gets lynched from a tree by Harry's dad, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
not like it's going to make it much like maybe they want to make that commentary, but I think that you don't need to make that commentary because that's already bad enough. Like,
yeah, well, I think
make Dumbledore black. Sure, I don't care.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
That would go over better, I think.
Well, that's what I was going to say. A couple of years ago, we did a joke fan casting of fan casting, but like what they're gonna do with the Harry Potter cast, and one of them that was up
there.
Give
us a James Earl Jones Dumbledore.
I was going to say it was Morgan Freeman as Dumbledore, and I said, that I would be okay with.
Oh, James Earl Jones is dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
That was like 5 years ago. Honestly.
James Earl Jones would make an amazing
Dumbledore?
Hagrid. No, Hagrid.
Oh, yeah.
Hagrid? Oh, yeah. No, yeah. That's better. That's way better.
Yeah. Dude, Dumbledore as Morgan Freeman or something like that? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I don't know if I could see Morgan Freeman Dumbledore.
I don't know. I think you could do it. I'm curious to see how John Lithgow is going to turn out with that because
I think he'll do great. I think
he can pull it off, but it's just
John
not
Lithgow.
I'm used to seeing him. But like
exactly,
I think he's going to be great. He just has to make sure he screams. Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Right.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
And he gently wafted.
I've been listening to that the Super Carlin brothers are doing a chapter by chapter read through, and they're in book 4 right now, and it's later on in the book, and there's a couple of times where it has Dumbledore like saying, he said very calmly, he said very quietly, and they make sure to read it out very calmly and quietly, like in that same way. It's a very good running gag.
What does Papa C do? I think I've seen.
Did they make him gay against Rowling's wishes? I thought it was Rowling who made him gay. What?
Oh yeah,
it was like a retcon after the fact.
Well, yeah, but it was her that did it.
Yeah, it was her.
Not against her wishes.
Not a retcon, but like
it was
when that happened, it felt like she was like grasping to like hey, I want to stay popular again. Like, oh, by the way, that was the same time she was saying like, oh, also by the way, wizards just pooped in the streets because they didn't have bathrooms, and you're like, you kind of like made it a plot point in one of your books that there was a bathroom in, yeah.
This guy with a beard is gonna look good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of these Papa Sidu movies. Oh, I've seen Murder on the Orient Express. It wasn't good.
I heard that one was okay.
It was better than the second one.
Now I've just got in my head a black Hagrid, and I'm thinking maybe Shaq.
Hey,
guys, Shaq is just give that man a beard.
No, that's not Shaq. Common.
No.
Were you there when I was complaining about Silo and Common? Okay. Let's go with a beard, baby. Anyway, all right. Okay, we got to end the stream. We'll see you guys next week, and it will be great. Any last words?
Bye.
Charles Barkley. Yeah.
They do have Nick Frost cast as Hagrid, right?
It's not bad. Nick Frost, yeah. No, I think Nick Frost.
So they do have him cast.
Yeah.
But
anyway, we shall see. I think getting rid of Black Snape can only help. So
I mean, I'm gonna roll with it if they decide to move forward with it and see what they give us.
Such a misfire.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
All the other casting suspensions I thought have been fine.
How do you feel about Hermonia Gonzalez?
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Mexican Hermione, baby. She looks fine.
It's fine as long as the kids can act. I'm fine with it.
Yep.
Okay. See you guys next week. Shaq. Shaq. All right. Bye.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Subscribe to the channel and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining. So please consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.